Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report, and coming up on today's Overreaction Friday live show presented by Prize Picks, we're going to go through a little preseason week 2 recap. Yes, the Raiders won 22-20 yesterday against the Houston Texans, but I hope everybody is ready to talk about Fernando Mendoza. I hope you're ready to talk about Aidan O'Connell, and I hope you're ready to talk about what Klint Kubiak had to say, because he did just speak at the presser, and I have 10 takeaways from what our head coach had to say. Also, 2 other segments that I'm going to be doing on the program today. Actually, I got 3 segments for you. I can't count. I got Raiders grades up against the Texans. We're going to go offense, defense, special teams. I'm going to pick out a few players that I think deserve to be noted in these grades. Then I'm going to talk about a brand new updated 53-man roster projection for the Silver and Black with some cut candidates that are in there. And then a mailbag. If you don't know how a mailbag works here on the Raiders Report, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get your questions and comments on the program. But I want y'all to let Raiders fans know, to let Raider Nation know, to let the Raiders know how you feel after that Texans game and how you feel going into the final preseason game up against the San Francisco 49ers. Not only are we going to be doing a duck race, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365, I also want people to know $10 Venmo. $10 Venmo. You have a shot to win Raiders 49ers preseason tickets. I did not get a chance to give them away yesterday, so we will be giving those away at the end of the show today. Let's get this red pen out. Grade the Raiders' performance against the Houston Texans. Give me an A, B, C, D, or an F. What's kind of interesting about that game, and I woke up this morning and I spent a little bit of time watching it, and I do think that it's a tale of 2 totally different games, and I feel like it's a tale of 3 different games. There is the first team offense, and I was not happy about that overall first half was bad. Klint Kubiak even said the first half was atrocious. Then you look at the second half, and you see a resilient football team. I get it. It's a bunch of backups, but I also saw Aidan O'Connell lead this squad. Shout out to AOC, looking pretty darn good. But then the other aspect of this game is Fernando Mendoza. And realistically, I thought Mendoza looked really good. I mean it. I went back and I watched every single snap. Fernando looked really clean, especially under center. I thought he was really sharp on third down. The big black eye, though, he threw a pick 6, and that's what people are going to talk about when you're the number 1 overall pick. And, I get it. I watched those games, and I watched the throws, and that's kind of what, Fernando has been. He's been somebody that has been really good, but has made that one big mistake. He did it at joint practice. He's done it in Raiders practices. But what I'll tell you is this right now. The good outweighs the bad. You can see that Fernando Mendoza has that it factor, and I just really wish that the Raiders would have played Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders starting offense. I would have loved to see him with the starting offense. I would have loved to see him with the starting offensive line. I would have loved to see the Raiders with that. I wanted to see Fernando Mendoza out there with those starters. So give me those grades down below. I see Chuck is going to go with a D. I see Mike's going to go with a C. Bo Mackey's going to go with a C. M. Tolbert hit me with a C. Now, man, what's going on? I see a lot of different grades that are happening right now. A, B, C, D, or F. Shout out to each and every one of y'all out there. Now, let's quickly go through some of these Klint Kubiak presser takeaways, and if we have to do the Prize Picks read, obviously we'll have to do it. No Max Crosby. We're not going to see him in preseason. Klint Kubiak said that today, and honestly, I'm not all that shocked. At this point, I don't think that you're going to see any starters from here on out in the preseason, but the Raiders also took that joint practice very seriously. Let's go to another one. He was impressed by Mendoza. Klint Kubiak was impressed by Mendoza, and I was happy that Klint said this, so I wrote it down because I 100% agreed with him that on third down and in big-time situations on critical throws, Fernando looked good. He did. His stats would look completely different. I think the conversation around Fernando would be completely different if Malik Benson catches those 2 third-down balls. And I do. I think that we're marching. I think it looks and sounds a lot different. But at the same time, how does your quarterback bounce back, right? He started 1 of 4, 22 yards and a pick 6. The reason why you need Fernando to be sharp up here is to bounce back. And he did. He was 6 of 7 after that 1 of 4 start. Klint Kubiak said that the first half was atrocious, and he was right. That first half of football was atrocious, and it was atrocious in the sense of we didn't do the certain things that we needed to do. Too many penalties. Our offensive line didn't block for Mendoza, and I would say our run defense got trucked again. But what Mendoza needs is more consistent reps, and that's what Klint Kubiak said. He was kind of asked, you even heard Klint say in the presser, which shout out to head coach Klint Kubiak. He's like, I hope that I'm not being a jerk, because the way that he answered was just very, it was cut and dry. But he was right. Klint Kubiak knows Fernando Mendoza needs more reps. I got 5 more Klint Kubiak presser takeaways coming up here on the program. And again, if you see any super chats, I see one down there now, make sure that you use hashtag Raiders or super chat to get your questions, comments on the program. But I hate to break it to you, I did not win my Prize Picks lineups yesterday, and it stinks. I took the more on Fernando Mendoza passing touchdowns. I took the more on Fernando Mendoza passing yards, and because of that, those were the biggest reasons why both of my Prize Picks lineups, 3 of my Prize Picks lineups, were losers. But you know what? I'm not going to win every Prize Picks lineup. You're not going to win every Prize Picks lineup. The number one reason why I want fans to go download the Prize Picks app today is because if you watch the Raiders, if you watch any preseason game, if you watch any sporting event, heck, I'll say it like this. I watched grown men shovel hot dogs down their throat in the middle of the summer because I had a Prize Picks lineup in. And maybe that's a weird thing to say out loud, but I'm watching Asia Wilson, Angel Reese games in the middle of the summer. Why? Because I get a Prize Picks lineup in. And I feel bad for telling all y'all I did. I did not win my lineup, and I predicate myself on finding ways to get you guys that $150. Because if you win your first $5 lineup over on Prize Picks, you're going to get $150 in lineups to play with. The hard part about the preseason is there is a lot of unknown. And I think that game yesterday still leaves us with a lot of unknowns. If anybody out there wants to check out, I do have a Raiders Week 1 lineup with the Dolphins. I do have a Raiders season-long lineup. I have a football 6-pick power play lineup. This one's kind of an interesting one. So this one I did $5 to win, $70. Shout out to the 570. Lame, but that's literally why I hit submit on this one once I saw it. But you guys can see the Raiders up against Miami. This is going to be, with our starting offense up against the Miami Dolphins, who I think are also got a lot of question marks around them. If you plan on watching a Raiders game with me, if you plan on watching the Raiders Report, download the Prize Picks app today. Make sure that you use code HMA to get $150 in lineups if you win your first $5 lineup over at Prize Picks. Now, I will get into the deals here in just a moment. Let me get through the remainder here of the Klint Kubiak presser takeaways. Klint was very proud that this team won the turnover battle. Yes, they had a pick 6 from Mendoza, but also, the defense was able to force 2 big turnovers. Shout out to Patrick Johnson. I am really battling myself mentally because I want Patrick Johnson to make this squad because I think at the end of the day, when guys play as good as what he's played, that's a guy that I think deserves to make the roster. But I'm kind of battling myself of Kean Sloan, Patrick Johnson. We'll talk about it a little bit more here on the show. Kubiak was really bothered by the second play mistake that Mendoza had. He was kind of asked about penalties, and you could tell Kubiak was not happy with the penalties. All right, hang on. Alex called me 3 times. She's calling me again. Hang on. Can you just take over for a second? Sorry, y'all. My wife's calling me. Just give me 1 second.
What's up, everybody? This is not the push-up POV. This is Reed. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta put this on real quick. How we doing? I think everybody in the comment section who has a wife or a significant other, they know when it's a call, you gotta take that call. If it's calling 3 times, 100%, right? How we doing, everybody? How we doing? I know Mitch said we're not looking at the deals yet, so I won't show those yet. But I do have a good question for you guys before we get back to looking at what Klint Kubiak had to say. What do you guys think? I have a question. You tell me. Should the Raiders add a wide receiver? I think whoever says no, we should all just bully them out of the chat, right? I think that's probably the best idea because I think we all know the Raiders need a wide receiver. Trey Tucker being wide receiver 1 and Jalen Naylor not exactly being the wide receiver that we were expecting, right? Yeah.
I'm back. Just so all y'all know. Sorry, Alex. Alex texted me. SOS. Red alert. SOS. Unfortunately, our car. We've been having a lot of problems with Audi, and the car wouldn't start. So she had to take it in. They have it now, but the insurance card that she had was expired, so she just needed the updated one. But she has to get to work, so she needed my basically the ID card to get it through. But she's like, I called Jeremy, I called Chase. They probably think they're probably like, what's going on with Alex? So if Jeremy or Chase come in here and be like, yo, is everything okay with Alex? She called me. We're good. We're good. But I'll tell you this: don't ever get an Audi. I hate that car. I hate it.
It's so funny too because when you answer that, I don't know if you heard me. I go, anytime your significant other, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, anyone
I'll
when
say
they call
like
you
this.
3 times in a row and then they send you sirens, you gotta answer that call.
She called me at 12:37 3 times and then 12:41. So I actually feel bad that I missed it that many times. Here's the thing: if anybody out there called, if Sherlock called me 4 times in a row, I think I'd answer. Be like, bro, are you good? Are you okay? Yeah. Audi R8. I wish I had Audi R8 money. No, we have an Audi Q3, but I think it's a very simple, very effective car for my wife for where we are right now in our life. But I got the car for, simplicity. And I'm not going to lie to you, I hate Audi. I will never, ever get an Audi again. And the Audi Dallas people know that I don't like them. I promise you that. They know it for a fact. You go check out my review. They know that I'm not happy with them. Bothered by second play Mendoza penalty. So this is just one of those things where, again, and I respect Klint Kubiak for saying it because, I expect Mendoza to have everything. He's got to have his I's dotted, his T's crossed. That's the job, right? That is the job of a franchise quarterback. And I love that Klint pointed it out because it is something that needs to be cleaned up. And you could tell Kubiak was bothered by the amount of penalties that our young players had. And there was plenty of them. He talked about, keeping 3 quarterbacks, which, we're going to break down a 53-man roster. And I think a lot of people here are going, well, why wouldn't we keep 3 quarterbacks? The reason why you wouldn't keep 3 quarterbacks is because you want to keep another player. Do I think Aidan O'Connell is good enough to make this roster? Obviously, I think that. But also, we know that it's Kirk Cousins, it's Fernando Mendoza, and realistically, if you can open up that roster spot, you have Jacob Clark on your practice squad. Can you keep a Patrick Johnson? Can you keep a, DeCamerion Richardson? Can you keep a Dare Agumbawale? Can you keep a Dante Thornton Jr.? Whoever that player is, you can add that into the competition, into the mix if you don't keep 3 quarterbacks. But I actually don't think it's a Raiders conversation. I bet you it has way more to do with Aidan O'Connell because if I'm AOC, I want to go somewhere where I got a shot. And let's face it, he doesn't have a shot here in Las Vegas. Let's go to the next takeaway here from Klint Kubiak. Penalties were just unacceptable. He was pissed off about special teams penalties. He even said something about, Jermod McCoy. He didn't mention him by name, but he's like, 3rd down, getting unsportsmanlike. He mentioned a face mask call, and those are the minute details that matter to Kubiak. And I want guys to be able to play, but I also think it's got to be a learning opportunity for Jermod McCoy. You get a big stop on 3rd down after a game that you had last week, and let's face it, that game that he had last week was not good. And I love, again, to me, I want guys to show emotion. I was frustrated by the penalty, but I'm also not in that coach's room. If those guys are being taught to hey, I don't want to see any of that stuff. And the way that I think Kubiak is very much no BS. I think because he said what he said, I think it's something that they're really going to emphasize going into that preseason game against the Niners is if we got to clean it up. Because if we don't clean it up, you're not going to be on this football team. And then he said this, that the wide receiver room took a step backwards. That was extremely notable to me. And, I think for a lot of Raiders fans out there, we weren't all that impressed about this wide receiver room. We haven't been impressed by it all offseason long. Trey Tucker did not play in the game yesterday, which tells me he is without a doubt the number one wide receiver. Jalen Naylor had a nice first down catch, which you like to see. Jack Besh, don't really even remember too many things that he did yesterday. Malik Benson had two extremely, extremely costly drops. Like, this is a receiver room that makes me extremely, extremely nervous. So I'm going to ask you, if Klint Kubiak is saying this receiver room took a step back, that screams to me we're really okay with this receiving room. And, like, maybe we're not able to find somebody else. Maybe you go out and you sign a Jonnu Smith, you make him a tight end, and then you make Brock Bowers your number one wide receiver. I really wanted to be able to evaluate Fernando better, and I don't feel like we've been given that opportunity because of the talent that the Raiders have around Fernando right now. Besh wasn't targeted from Rebel Montana. There you go. Besh wasn't targeted. That game yesterday to me, there was some good, there was some bad, but there's also, like, very much so, we didn't get a lot of questions answered yesterday. That's how I feel. Wide receivers haven't stepped up from Bo Mackey. I hear you. We got Butters. What up, Butters? Love how he didn't shy away from calling out the wide receiver room, and he shouldn't shy away from it. Like, these are the conversations that need to be had. Like, I don't want a coach that's going to baby people. Like, I don't want people, like, you got to be, if you're going to make millions of dollars, and it's the harsh reality, these guys are making millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. And I get it. Not everybody is making millions of dollars, but even the guys that are the lowest paid players on that team make a stupid amount of money. So, like, yeah, we got to do a better job, and I expect the coaching staff to do a better job this upcoming week. Also, Craig Nelson! Bang! Mitch missed the live last night due to a late conflict. I know it was backups on D, but we are going to need at least half of these guys, right? Now they can't stop a toss play. Sherlock, lead blocking. Can't wait to see the starters play. Let's effing go. I mean, the only way that you're going to see the starters play is week 1 against Miami. They're not going to be playing next week against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry that you missed the game last night. Hopefully everything's okay with you, Craig. Shout out to Craig Nelson for being a legend. So far, the MVP on today's show. Our depth is a concern, but that really shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, I still think our depth looks like the depth of a bad football team, and we got a facelift. We added some good starters on defense. We added some good starters on offense as well, which is definitely going to help out our unit. But I was concerned with the missed tackles. Like, to me, missed tackles isn't a talent thing. Missed tackles is a want thing. And I have a feeling that just the amount of missed tackles, the amount of penalties that we had yesterday, and I get it, it's just a preseason game, but, like, we still got to be able to properly evaluate these things, and our run defense did not look good yesterday. I thought our secondary played a lot better. Like, that's a positive, but, like, our run defense yesterday looked weak. I thought that we kind of got bullied, missed tackles a lot, and our special teams unit, it's not good right now. Matt Gay, congrats. You banged through a 52-yarder, but Kansai Matsuzawa, I mean, that experiment's got to be over. What up, Bo Mackey? Shout out to you, my guy, giving me a loud Raiders down below. Let's go through the deals here on today's show. And if you guys don't know, if you want to get your questions, your comments on the program, make sure that you use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get up here. Today's deals are as follows. Every 100 likes, I'm going to give away a raffle ticket to get into my fantasy football league. And if you don't know, whoever bangs the most in the month of August, which right now is Jerry Danley, and it's not close. Also, if you send in a $5 Super Chat, you're going to get one raffle ticket for a chance to get in my fantasy football league. If you want a chance to win a little bit of money, it's a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Yesterday we gave away, we gave away what? Probably 1,600, 1,700, something around there. Because I know first place won $1,000, second place won $580, third place won $100. So we got that. And then also, I'm giving away 4 preseason tickets. Shout out to Steven Hansen. If anybody wants to get 4 preseason tickets for the Raiders game up against the 49ers, that's 6 days from now. We got 4 tickets in the level 300 section. Honestly, they're really good seats. Shout out to Steven Hansen for hooking it up. So if anybody wants a chance to win those, we're going to give those away today. $10 Venmo, Mitchell Renz 365. If you just want to get in for both, $30 Venmo, we'll call it a deal. To the 231 people that are here in the building right now, we have 3 segments that we're going to get into on the show today. But, yeah, let's do it. The winners from our preseason week 2 yesterday, shout out to Jerry Danley. He won a Bo Jackson signed helmet. Lord Cameron Abbott wanted a Matt Gay jersey for his brother, which I can only imagine what that jersey is going to be used for. Also, we are going to be giving away Raiders 49ers preseason tickets. I know some people got into that yesterday. And also, shout out to Killian, shout out to Brian, and shout out to Gabriel Ruiz for winning a little bit of money on the show. Little bit of money on the program. Let's go through. I see a super chat from Nabman. I don't see any other questions after that, so we can get in to our Raiders, Texans grade. The way that today's show is going to go is if we get questions, we'll stay live. If we don't get questions, we're going to go through our segments. I planned on staying live today for about 2.5, 3 hours. But again, that's totally up to Raider Nation. It's totally up to y'all and how many questions we get today. Nabman, we have 5 untested wide receivers. Blame Geno. See, I don't think you can't just blame Geno, but Geno is to be blamed. We want to get more untested wide receivers. Just stay the course. See what shakes out. Winning today is important. Winning for 10 years is far more important. RIP to the great Tuna. I don't disagree with what you're saying here, Nav, because what you're saying is there's not another receiver out there to me, there's not a receiver on the open market that's going to make us a better football team. Realistically, like if you add DeAndre Hopkins, what does that actually do? Does it give us 1 win extra this year? I don't know. To me, DeAndre Hopkins is a wide receiver 3 on this roster. Now, maybe you add somebody like that to get a little bit extra depth because you're concerned about your young guys, but you missed your chance on Stephon Diggs. You missed your chance on Juwan Jennings. You missed your chance on Deebo Samuel. You missed your chance on Keenan Allen. You missed your chance on to make an actual impact in this receiver room. Now, I would say you're not going to sign. There's not a free agent wide receiver that's going to help out this wide receiver room. It's not. Your best bet, I actually think, would be legitimately signing a guy like Jonnu Smith and letting him be tight end 2 and letting Brock go out there and actually be your wide receiver 1. Or you make a trade. Do you make a trade for somebody? I'm hearing a lot of Kayshon Boutte talk, but Kayshon Boutte, even he's a little bit unproven. But then you're going to have to go pay him. I don't want to have to go pay Kayshon Boutte. The Raiders ignored their wide receiver room, and they ignored it all off season long. And now they're starting to realize, I think, we're in kind of a situation here. What up, Los Oakland? Should the Raiders ask the Patriots for a wide receiver trade or wait for Jeremiah Smith? If these are my 2 options, I'd take Jeremiah Smith every day of the week and twice again on Sunday.
The only thing is, though, that means this year
top 5
terrible.
pick. If you want Jeremiah Smith, that means we're picking in the top 5. And it's hard to know where certain guys are going to go. It's hard to know, what a season can happen. You hate to even mention it. Injuries can happen. But Fernando Mendoza was working with Jeremiah Smith this offseason. They were working together, which I was surprised by because I know Jeremiah is related to Geno, and I know heard plenty of stuff from that Geno Smith family. So, believe me, I hear you loud and clear. But if I have to pick, I'm going to take the guy that's a great young receiver in Jeremiah Smith. He's a stud, and he's going to be a stud in the NFL. Though I do wonder if some people are going to maybe pump the brakes a little bit on Ohio State receivers after how big of a disaster Marvin Harrison Jr. has been so far. But I think that just looks more like a want.
I was going to say, I think that's an interesting. It's you get one bad batch of cookies. Are you totally done with that cookie place? No, I think you just go and get a different one.
And that's my probably bigger point. Ohio State, you make the argument outside of LSU, has been the best
for sure.
college in making wide receiver talent.
You can name so many great wide receivers in the NFL. A good amount of them are going to be Ohio State. Yeah, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
Those are just 2 to name right there. It's.
Over the past few years, there's been a lot of really talented receivers that have come out of those 2 schools. Alabama's been a big one, but
JSN.
He's not bad. JSN, not bad. Definitely not bad at football. All right, fam, let's get into the Raiders Texans grades here. I got 3 segments on tap for all of y'all out there. Sin says, I think y'all are sleeping on Naylor. I hope that you're right. I was really high on Jalen Naylor, but I think we also have to be able to say he hasn't looked great. He had a good catch yesterday in that game, and that's good to see, but he was really bad in the open practice. He hasn't been doing much in joint practice. Training camp, there's a reason why Trey Tucker was the only receiver that didn't play yesterday. He is the number one. So think about what you think about Trey Tucker. That's the Raiders telling you Trey Tucker is without a doubt a better receiver than Jalen Nailor. He didn't play yesterday. Like, the fact that Nailor's getting work with Jack Besh, Malik Benson, they were all kind of doing their thing. I think going into the year, we were wondering who's going to be the wide receiver 3. I think we should wonder who's going to be the wide receiver 2. And that's not a knock on Nailor. But if Benson would have played well yesterday, I do think that would be a much bigger of a conversation than what it's getting. And I think that that's one of the reasons why Kubiak said what he did today. The wide receiver room took a step back. It did because, unfortunately, Malik Benson did not play well. And that's just the facts. All right, let's get into the Raiders-Texans grades here. After that, I got some cut candidates and a brand new 53-man roster projection. And then after that, a Raiders Report mailbag.
Also, CJ, we see your super chat. We'll hit that after this cut.
Cool. Yeah, CJ, we got you, bro. After the cut, we got you. We got you, though. Also, we could save that one for the mailbag. Like, those are the types of questions that I think would be great for the mailbag as well.
We can always re-hit them.
Yeah, honestly, with the amount of
a quick answer, and then we'll give an in-depth answer.
Yeah, with the amount of super chats we've gotten, I would say right now, like, if you super chat, you're going to get into the mailbag. We can just re-hit those. So, all right, let's go. First thing up, Raiders, Texans grades. Let's get into it. Raiders grades after their Week 2 performance up against the Houston Texans, presented by PrizePicks. My name is Mitchell Renz. You're watching the Raiders Report, and the Silver and Black won 22-20 up against the Houston Texans in preseason Week 2 action. And what I'm going to talk about today is grades on the offense, grades on the defense, grades on special teams. But I'm really going to focus on the starters, on the offense, defensive side of the football, and then I just really want to highlight on certain players on both sides and just give you my overall grade for this Las Vegas Raiders team. But like Aidan O'Connell had himself a good game. Mike Washington Jr., had himself a good game. But really, this was a tale of two different games. You had your first half performance by the Raiders, which Klint Kubiak said was atrocious. And then you have your second half performance by the Raiders, which to me is a team that showed that they had a lot of heart. And I will give you guys my grade for the Raiders at the very, very end of today's show. But if you want to let me know down below in the comment section, A, B, C, D, or F, how would you grade the Las Vegas Raiders performance up against the Houston Texans? Let's go to the very first name here. The reason why I'm rocking my Mendoza shirt today is because I want everyone to know I believe in Fernando Mendoza, and I want you to go back and watch the tape because it's a lot better than what the box score says. If you're going to be a box score warrior and you're going to look at the pick six and that's the only thing you're going to look at, you're going to see a bad game for Fernando. I am giving him a C grade. Why? He did throw a pick six, but he's showing you growth under center. He's showing that arm strength. He's showing the ability to make reads. But you know what? I wish that we could see Fernando with the starting offense. I wanted to see Fernando with the starting offensive line, starting pass catchers. I wanted to see Fernando get that opportunity, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get that this offseason. It's going to be Kirk Cousins' job, but he was good. The unfortunate part is he threw a pick six. So for that reason, I got to give him a C grade. Let's go to running back Mike Washington Jr. He gets an A. Another outstanding game for the young rookie running back out of Arkansas. I was surprised he got caught from behind on that run, but you're seeing patience, you're seeing power, you're seeing somebody that's got that, excuse my language, fuck you mentality. And I love some FU football. Mike Washington Jr. brings it. He's slowly turning into one of my favorite rookies on this team. Let's go to another rookie, and I hate to do it, but it's got to be an F grade. Malik Benson is the biggest fail from this past game. But here's what I need from Malik. Short memory, let's move on, right? Like, if I need Fernando Mendoza to have the short memory, move on after that pick six, which he did, I need Malik Benson to do the exact same thing. Klint Kubiak said that he thought that the wide receiver room did take a little bit of a step back, and two really costly drops by Malik Benson could have changed a lot of the conversations around that room. But again, he's a rookie. There's going to be some up and downs, but sometimes I think we need a little bit of a wake-up call of maybe Malik's not ready to go yet. And when I say not ready to go yet, maybe he's not ready to be that number one. Trey Tucker's our number one. Malik Benson, Jalen Nailor, Jack Besh, they're going to be fighting for that other spot. And because this was a great opportunity for Benson to take that job, those two drops, let's be real, those were really, really bad drops. Let's go to another name here. Probably the biggest winner from the game. Aidan O'Connell, give me an A-plus grade, and I'm really happy for 12. I'm really fired up that the entire world on ESPN last night just got to see Aidan O'Connell be Aidan O'Connell. And was there some flash? I'll call it Aidan O'Connell flash. Like, there's some times you're like, yeah, it's not pretty. But you know what? There's other times where he gets the job done. And, you know, I could, if I'm going to say sometimes with Fernando it's not pretty, but he gets the job done, why can't I say the exact same thing about Aidan O'Connell? I mean, we were down 20-3, and this was a game that looks like we had absolutely nothing going. He led some touchdown drives. He led a 96-yarder. Hell, if I'm hooting and hollering in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, there's a reason behind it. It's because somebody's giving me a reason to cheer. Aidan O'Connell gave Raider fans a reason to cheer. Aidan O'Connell really is the reason why people aren't waking up here on Friday going, man, that game was a disaster, because that first half was atrocious. The second half was saved. Shout out to AOC, A-plus performance. He's too good of a quarterback to be a quarterback 3, and whether he's in Las Vegas or whether he gets another opportunity, somebody that's had 6 different OCs, 4 different head coaches, I am an Aidan O'Connell believer, and I do think that he deserves a shot somewhere. The unfortunate part is I don't think it's going to be here in Las Vegas. I got another grade that I want to give out in just a moment, but I get an F for my Prize Picks lineups in the Raiders-Texans game. But you know what? I got to give Prize Picks a big old A-plus for hooking up Raider Nation here. And if you use code HMA, you're going to get $150 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup over on Prize Picks. And today's Friday. If you don't know what that means it is Flex Friday. And Flex Friday is always something that they're trying to create new deals. And if you don't know what Flex Friday is, every Friday users can opt into Flex Friday from the rewards tab and apply a protected play to one flex play lineup. If the lineup wins, it pays out normally. If the lineup loses, Prize Picks refunds the entry as bonus lineups, allowing users to run it back without risking additional funds. It's a simple weekly promotion that rewards users for coming back each Friday. So, like, you know, obviously my lineups did not win, but if you want to see one of the lineups that I have for the Raiders Week 1 game up against the Miami Dolphins, it's already there. You can follow me on Prize Picks. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. You're not going to see Fernando Mendoza Week 1. It's going to be Kirk Cousins. But I am hopeful in this team once we have our full starters out there on the squad. I'm excited to see what this Klint Kubiak offense looks like. You're not going to see any starters from here on out. I know, it was a hell of a burp. That tastes like a Thursday night beer watch party burp. Shout out to Prize Picks. You know what you're getting. Use code HMA for $150 in lineups if you win your first $5 lineup over on America's #1 sports pick app, Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Let's give some more love here to Dylan Laube, a player that I probably don't show enough love to at times. And he had himself a good game. He was running physical. He caught the football well. He had a nice touchdown. He didn't put the ball on the ground. Like, to me, him and Dare Agumbawale are having a really cool behind-the-scenes battle. Roman Hemby needs to clean it up a little bit, but good for Dylan Laube, man. I was really, really happy for him. So here are my overall grades up against the Houston Texans. The quarterback room, I'm going to give him a B grade. I liked what I saw Mendoza. Loved what I saw out of Aidan O'Connell. The running back room, fantastic. I do. Like, the only bad thing I can really remember from that game was a block in the back by Roman Hemby on special teams. I thought Dare played well. I thought Dylan Laube played well. I thought Mike Washington Jr. played well. They all looked really good. Receiver room was bad. I've already talked about it enough. I don't need to go anymore. The receiver room was bad yesterday. The tight end room, I'll give you a C grade. I have to go back and really, truly watch it a little bit more, but I don't really remember anything good. I don't really remember anything bad. I actually remember more good from Connor Hayward out of anybody. On the offensive line, I'm just going to give you a C grade. With Mendoza, was not very good. That second unit with Aidan O'Connell, I guess maybe our third unit technically, was better overall, but it was an average performance by that O-line. Some Raiders starters that I just want to give some grades on. Overall, some names that I haven't mentioned yet. Jalen Naylor, I want to give a B grade to. Connor Hayward showed some good glimpses for the blocking ability. Ian Thomas did not do a good job blocking, which was something that I really need to see a better job out of Ian Thomas with. The starters on the offensive line, Charles Grant, I'll give a C-plus grade to. I actually thought Antonio Mafia, when I watched it, I thought Antonio Mafia had himself a good football game. I liked what he did I love what he did in run blocking. He was really good in run blocking yesterday. Jordan Meredith, I've kind of ripped him apart for being center. He was good in pass protection yesterday. Not great in run blocking, but pass protection yesterday, I thought he did a pretty damn good job. Caleb Rogers, I was disappointed in. And Trey Zoon, okay overall. So for the Raiders on offense, my grade that I'm going to give the silver and black, it's going to be a C minus. And if that's too harsh of a grade, I'm sorry, but I am basing this grade more on that first half matters to me more than the second half. So if I'm going to say the first half was bad and the second half was good, I'm not going to say it was average. I'm going to say it was slightly below average overall for that offense, but that's just because I expected more from that first team offense. We were losing 20-3. We were down 17-0. We threw a pick six. There was some good. There was also some bad. Let's now go to the defensive side of the football here for these Raiders grades. And on the starting line, I had Patrick Johnson as the biggest winner. And if you watched that game yesterday, there's nobody I'm more excited for than Patrick Johnson. He's got a real shot to make this roster. Malcolm Kuntz, Trevin Mahe, Thomas Booker, Jonah Laolu. You can see all those up there, those grades. There was a really bad face mask penalty by Laolu, and that's kind of why I dropped him below a B grade overall. Some more starters here. Linebackers, I thought Cody Lindenberg did a better job than Tommy Eichenberg, especially in the coverage game. Hezekiah Massis, I thought that he did a really good job. Darian Porter was bad. The more and more I watched him, the more I realized that they were kind of picking on him, too soft to coverage. Massis played aggressive. They put him in spots, and I thought that he showed up. Traden Stukes did a really good job. I kind of want to give Stukes an A grade because they're asking him to do so much. And one of the plays that I watched this morning was Stukes just passing off the defender or passing off the offensive player to another guy on defense, which I actually forget who it is, but he passes him off to it, and it reminded me of when you're watching a defense play like basketball and somebody does a pick and roll and the defense just plays that pick and roll perfectly. It's not an easy thing for a guy to do, and he's doing it at free safety, and he's doing it in the nickel at a young rookie spot. I am impressed by Traden Stukes. That's why I gave him the grades that he did. But let's go through some other grades here on defense. We'll roll through these a little bit quicker. Patrick Johnson, A+. Was there a bigger winner in that game yesterday? I don't think that there was a bigger winner for the Raiders. He had, just an unbelievable performance. 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, forced fumble, flying all over the football field. Fali Fakutasi was the best defensive tackle for the Raiders yesterday. I don't care what anybody says. He was the best defensive tackle for the Raiders yesterday. Got to give him an A grade. DeCamerion Richardson. He looked good on defense, but he made a really bad mistake on special teams, and that's how he's going to make this roster. If DeCamerion makes this roster, it's going to be because of what he does on special teams. And for Kubiak to mention that on the presser on Friday, I know that that's in the back of his mind because it's in the back of my mind. Dalton Johnson, the rookie, I'm going to give him a B grade. I thought he played 40-plus snaps in that game, and you saw some of that versatility. You saw the leadership traits, but you saw mentality. I want our secondary to not be afraid to hit somebody. Dalton Johnson's not afraid to hit somebody. And then I'm going to go Jermod McCoy. And there's a part of me where I wanted to give him a worse grade. And, the fact that Kubiak even said, unsportsmanlike conduct, Jermod McCoy got to get off the field. But outside of that, boneheaded play, and it was a boneheaded play. And the hard part about it is I like the fact that I want our guys to have fun out there playing. I want our guys to go out there and do their thing. And I like the fact that Jermod McCoy was having fun playing football yesterday. But also in the same breath, I don't know what they're being taught. And I don't know if the rookies are maybe held to a little bit of a shorter leash because Kubiak was pissed about the penalty. But I saw a bounce-back performance. I saw a player that played with a lot more confidence than he did in that first preseason game. B- is me being probably glass half full. If this was a real-life game and that was a real-life penalty that cost us real-life yards in a real-life situation, I would have given Jermod McCoy a much, much lower grade. But it's the preseason. He's a rookie, and I was happy with how he played. Before I get into these special teams grades, if you want the shirt that I got on right now, go to chatsports.com/Mendoza, or you can go to chatsports.com/RRshop. Whether you want to get a hat, whether you want to get a hoodie, whether you want to get literally anything. Whether you want to get anything Raiders Report related, go to chatsports.com/RRshop. We got you covered, man. We got you covered, man. We do. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that already have Raiders Report stuff. I appreciate it. And if there's any, new Raiders Report merch that you want to see get launched, we will be launching a whole bunch of new stuff once the season does officially get going. But I'm still rocking my 15 here. I still believe in Fernando Mendoza, even though I gave him a C grade. If you want honest takes, that's what you're going to get from me. And I hope that you know that. You're going to get honest takes from me every single day here. So the defense, the grade that I'm going to give the Raiders defense up against the Houston Texans, I'm going to give them a C grade. And I feel bad for saying these, but the first team did not look good. But in the same breath, we made second half adjustments. We didn't give up any points in the second half. So the tale of two tapes is I liked what I saw. I also want it to be cleaned up a little bit. There were a lot of unanswered questions from that game. There's no doubt about it. But now it's time to go into special teams. And perfect. Yeah, you just go right here. Special teams, Matt Gay, I think you got to give him an A+, right? I mean, he banged through a 52-yard field goal. Got to give him credit there. He's clearly the winner of this kicking battle. I feel bad for putting the Tokyo toe on here, but it's got to be an F. And at this point, Daniel's not on the team, but can we at least give him the phone call? Can we give Daniel Carlson a phone call? Like, I think you owe it to the Raiders. I think you owe it to Raider Nation. I think you owe it to these players on this team because there's no way you can confidently tell me that without a doubt in your mind, Matt Gay, who has been a worse kicker field goal percentage-wise over the last 3 seasons compared to Daniel Carlson, you can't tell me without a doubt Matt Gay is a better kicker than Daniel. I just want extra competition, and I don't want Kansai Matsuzawa taking away a roster spot anymore from somebody else. Make him the International Pathway Program player. And I'm not saying that because I don't believe in him. I'm simply saying that from he needs confidence. You can just tell he doesn't have confidence right now. So special teams, some people might be surprised by this grade. I'm going to go B-, and that's only because Matt Gay, the kicker that is our expected starting kicker, made a 52-yard field goal. I'm trying to really just take out Special K from this equation because he's not really in the kicking battle. He's out of the equation. So, like, as a fan, if you would have told me our only kicking situation was a 52-yard field goal with our starter, I would have said I expect him to make it and I need him to make it. And he did. Got to give Matt Gay his credit there. So he made a 52-yarder. I'm going to give him his flowers. The Raiders were ultimately able to win a game where they missed 2 extra points. And that does not happen very often. So before I get out of here, I told all y'all I'm going to grade the Raiders. And based on all the grades that I had, I tried to, add them all up. And the grade that I'm going to give you is a C grade. I thought it was an average football game for the Raiders. But it's a tale of 2. It's a tale of 3 different games. It's a tale of really bad first half football that gets corrected in the second half and a team that kept on fighting and found a way to win. I love and respect that. And then there's also the element of Fernando Mendoza where Fernando was good. He just made one really bad mistake. And I wonder with the starting offensive line, starters around him in general, are you going to see a better version of Fernando? I definitely think so. I think if those 2 drops wouldn't have happened, you see a better version of this football team overall. I know it wasn't pretty. The Raiders found a way to win. We got one more preseason game to go. And if you're going to be watching that Raiders 49ers preseason game, I hope you watch it with me right here on the Raiders Report. What's going on, Craig Nelson? Did Stooks look as good as I thought he did? One of the few bright spots, FYI, all is good. Just had a surprise house guest, so couldn't watch your stream. I mean, bro, you're good, Nobody's got to explain themselves to me here. I hope that you know that, but I did. I thought Traden Stooks looked good yesterday, and there's certain things that they're asking him to do that it's kind of like next level football where they need him to be that center fielder. They need him to be the commander-in-chief out there to kind of like help direct certain spots. But it's, there's a lot of choices involved in that secondary. A lot of choices. A.J. Cole, no burnout. I don't know what that means. Reminder to all y'all out there, we are doing a duck race today, and we are doing a raffle for a Raiders 49ers preseason tickets. 4 preseason tickets. If you want a chance to win, $10 Venmo for the preseason tickets, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 to get in the duck race. Here's how you can get on the show today. Hashtag Raiders or to Super Chat to skip the line. Once we go through all the supers, which I believe we are all caught up, we are then going to get into the very next segment here on the Raiders Report. Shout out to Francisco Ramirez. Shout out to Philip Bogert. Right now, the 2 people that are in the duck race here. I hope that we get some more people in. If you want, I can continuously give shout-outs here. But Francisco, Philip Bogert, I got you. And then the people for it looks like Raiders and 49ers raffle. Jonathan Grade, Papo, Jesus. How many names are in this right now? 21. So you have 1 out of 21 chance to get 4 Raiders preseason tickets. So if you guys want a chance to win, scan that QR code. $20 get in the duck race, $10 for the preseason tickets, $30 if you want to get in for both. Just so you know. Just so you know.
That makes it easier to see because the $10 one, that's pretty self-explanatory for what you want to get into, but 30 makes sense for both. And then 20 is, if you send in 20, you're not getting into the...
And I do Venmo just because it's easier for me to be able to like get your email, and then that way I can just send the tickets as soon as the show's over. So if you have put in a $10 Venmo or a $30 Venmo, to speed up the process, just send me your email right now. If you send me your email right now, and as soon as the show's over, I can just send you the tickets right over. Like Sherlock got to go with his family, and Sherlock sent us some photos, which was really cool. Like, you know, to me, I want people to watch the Raiders Report because I want us to be able to create more memories, to be able to do more stuff. Well, no, but it's the same. Yeah, so essentially this is what the tickets will be like. So this was the seats technically from the Cardinals game. It's the same seats from the 49ers game. So this is where you would be sitting. I think it's what, level 3?
Section 336, row 11.
Yeah, I believe it's that. So if you want to know where you're going to be sitting, that's where you're going to be sitting, just so everyone knows. All right, I am looking now. We did cross 100 likes. If you want a chance to get in to my fantasy football league, type me down below. We're going to give 1 spot away.
I vote Cooper gives away.
You want Cooper to give a spot away?
The spot to whoever's spamming me. And also,
How about we spam? How about we give me some Coopers down below?
Yeah, we can do Cooper or me.
Me?
Either one. Cooper. Yeah.
Me, Cooper.
So I actually was brainstorming this morning about what nickname we could have for Cooper. Because Cooper, we can call him Cooper, like that's his legal name, right? Mini Coop, that's still our other coworker Coop because his dad's name, they call him Coop. So it's like Big Coop, Mini Coop. So we can't call him Mini Coop, even though he drives a Mini Coop.
He does. I was in it last night. Sick whip.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
I was a little nervous after 2 coffee boots for him over there. I was a little nervous, but we got home quick.
But I have a new idea for what his name could be. So we have 2 Coops in the office. How about he's Dose? Dose for the second Coop. But
we already have a Trace.
We have a Trace. How about a Dose? I was like, Coop 2. Coop 2 doesn't really work.
Yeah, I think
2 Coop.
Something will happen. To me, nicknames
Call him Coffee Boot.
It'll just be. I mean, it's the guy from
CB. That's Colin Brown now.
Well, Coffee Black, isn't that from the Flint Tropics?
Yeah.
What's that movie? What's Semi-Pro? Coffee Black. Call you Coffee White.
Coffee White. Well, it's so funny because both his first name and his last name, we already have nicknames for people in the office for.
Yeah.
But it's tough to have 2 of them.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's we didn't start calling Joey Petey.
Yeah.
Because his name is Peterson, but
I don't know. To me, it's
he
funny.
was Joey P. He could be
one of my best friends growing up. His last name was Cooper, so Cooper. I don't know.
I like Dose.
I feel like I've just been calling you
Cooper. I go. Yesterday I was like, get this. How about we go, Cooper?
People were like, that's crazy.
Jeff was like, hey, that'll work.
That's crazy talk. All right, who are you going with?
Who are you going with? Coop?
Who's getting the fantasy raffle spot?
Who are you going with, Dose?
I see Event White, Sean Cozart,
he
Nabman, Troy Gill, Don the Don. What up, Butters down below? Malachi, 93 Nav. Who's getting the spot in the fantasy league? Raffle spot. Who's getting the raffle spot? you're good to give your pick. Butters is getting the spot. Just put that name in the sheet then for me. That would be much, much appreciated. Shout out to Butters for getting the spot. This was yesterday. Our top 3 preseason MVP. Shout out to Jerry Danley for getting another freaking dub. Back-to-back MVP titles for my guy Jerry Danley. Shout out to Lord Cameron Abbott, who he won a Raiders Report boot yesterday and a Matt Gay jersey. Just an electric day for LCA. And then Cove Utter. Cove, it's always so cool this part of the year because, and I get it, there's a lot of people that are like, hey, it's the off season. Once football comes back, hey, I'm going to start watching it again. And just seeing like a name like Cove Utter pop back up yesterday, being able to hit the Cove Utter celebration, it was awesome, dude. It was, shout out to Cove Utter for pulling up. But our preseason MVP so far, Jerry Danley, and could he get the trifecta? Jerry, if you do, you're automatically in the fantasy league. Like, we're not even going to do the August bang. You're in, bro. I think at this point, you should already probably be in. You're probably already in, if I had to guess. You're probably already in, Jerry. Shout out to Jerry Danley. Also, the Texans have officially placed Jaden Higgins on season-ending IR. That one hurts, Chugs. That one's going to hurt, man. Craig Nelson, how about the Coop emoji? Coop, there it is. Coop, shaka, laka, laka, chaka, laka. Craig, see, here's the thing. I don't know.
Or we just flip it and we call him Pook.
Pook? I don't know.
We got to figure. Yeah, or it sounds like poop.
It sounds like a shit nickname.
It sounds like a terrible nickname.
It sounds like a poopy nickname.
We'll keep brainstorming.
I mean, though, I will say this. One of my favorite nicknames of all time is from Rick and Morty, Mr. Poopy Butthole. If you don't know that show, though, there's like a new Rick and Morty that has come out that's like with, the president in Rick and Morty. He's like the black gentleman. Well, he's the black president. I don't know. The black guy, the black president. There's like a whole show around him now. I saw it the other day, and I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. I'm not as big lately. Like, when that show first came out, I was obsessed.
I love how you go, not lately.
Well, I haven't watched it in a while.
They had some stuff come out.
I do know that they had
the
some
creators.
stuff come. Well, yeah. And that's probably why the show's not as good anymore. But
they changed up the voices. It still sounds kind of the same, but it's not as good.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. What a nickname. Coming up, Raiders cut candidates and a brand new 53-man roster projection here on the Raiders Report. After that, it's going to be mailbag time. And then after that, I'm going to ask, do you guys want to stay live? Do you want to end the show early? Do you want to do Raiders Report Friday happy hour? All of those things are a possibility on today's program. To the 250 people that are here in the building right now, greatly, greatly appreciate you tuning in, pulling up, and showing out for Raider Nation today. It does really, really mean a lot to me. All right, here we go. We're going to go through this 53-man, and there's also going to be some cut candidates in there. Like, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on certain players that are going to get cut, and then certain players that I do have making this roster. What's always interesting about doing these shows is there's a lot that can still change. There's a lot that can still happen. But I believe that the roster that you're about to see, if the Raiders had to make those roster cuts today, this is what the team would look like. So coming up on the show, we're going to get into that. Just reminder, it's SeatGeek at 5, Price Picks at 12. Cool. All right, y'all. Here we go. Coming up, cut candidates, 53-man on the Raiders Report. Let's get it. Raiders cut candidates and a brand new 53-man roster projection presented by Prize Picks. If you don't know, use code HMA to get $150 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And if you win, that's when you get that $150 in lineup. So what we're going to be talking about today here on the Raiders Report is we're going to be going through and numbering 1 all the way down to 53, a brand new 53-man roster, because the Raiders got a 22-20 win over the Houston Texans, and if Klint Kubiak and John Spytek sat down in a room, and if roster cuts were due today, they're not due today, but they are due August 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be live here on the Raiders Report. Make sure you're subscribed, watching, hanging out with us as they cut this roster down. But I like to do this show to give you guys an idea of what this roster could look like, and also certain roster bubble candidates that unfortunately are going to get cut. Let's go to the quarterback room. That's where we are always going to start with this conversation. And realistically, you're going to kind of see right off the jump, I'm going to keep 3 quarterbacks here, and there's not really going to be any need to make you wonder who it's going to be. It's going to be Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza. It's going to be Aidan O'Connell. Though, I do wonder if the Raiders decide to keep only 2 quarterbacks, because I know AOC wants an opportunity to play in this league. It's not going to be with the Raiders. They have Kirk. They have Mendoza. That's their future plan. I am telling you right now, I wonder if Aidan doesn't make this roster, not because the Raiders don't want to keep him, but because Aidan wants another opportunity elsewhere. This could be a really interesting spot here for the Silver and Black. Let's now go to the running back room. And you're looking at this running back room, and really, I want you to pay attention to Dylan Laube, Roman Hembe, Dare Agumbawale. That's where this conversation really should start. Ashton Genty, Mike Washington Jr., Connor Hayward, they're going to make this squad, right? Like, no surprises there. Mike Washington continue to looks really, he looks way better than I thought he would. But for me personally, this other conversation needs to be had, and I thought about a Dare Agumbawale. I thought about a Dylan Laube. And, we've kind of gone back and forth on this a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. Before this game started, I had Dare Agumbawale. I did, but I'm slacking right now. I want Dylan Laube in this roster, and the reason is because of how close this battle is. Like, I was impressed what I saw from Laube yesterday. I think the Raiders are impressed from what they saw from Laube, but really it's got to come down to who do you think provides the best special teams value? If you think Dylan Laube is a better special teams player than Dare Agumbawale, then he should make the roster. If you don't think that Laube is a better special teams player than Dare, well, then I don't think it should happen. But I look at a 32-year-old Dare Agumbawale and a young player in Dylan Laube who's in his 3rd year. If we're going to have the approach of let's build for the future, well, I'd rather build for the future with Laube than build for the future with Dare, though Dare might be a better backup kicker than Kansai right now from special teams. I kind of joke in that statement, but I'm only saying this because it's the truth. If we're building for the future, a younger version of Laube is more of a reason to keep on the roster than Dare. But if Dare is a better special teams player, I want the Raiders to keep him over Laube. Let's now go to the wide receiver room here for the Las Vegas Raiders, in a unit that Klint Kubiak said took a step back, and they did. Trey Tucker, he did not play in that preseason game against Houston, which tells me he is without a doubt the number 1 receiver. Jalen Naylor's going to make this squad. He got some reps in that second preseason game. Jack Besh, even though he did not get targeted, that's going to be a receiver that makes this squad. Malik Benson, despite 2 pretty bad drops, will be a receiver, but somebody that this team I think is going to cut. It's going to be Dante Thornton Jr., and if you cut him, you're going to save $1.01 million. He has not played. He has not practiced in about 2 weeks. I know that he's got some high upside, but he doesn't offer you anything on special teams. And I think, to me, I'd rather the Raiders keep another version of somebody that can help you out a little bit more on special teams. I don't know if we're going to see Dante, but if he's only got 1 chance to shine, and there's not going to be any starters that are playing in that final preseason game against the 49ers, but maybe they keep 7 wide receivers. I'm only going to keep 6. I'm going to keep Malik Benson. I'm going to keep Tariq Young because they really value him from a special team standpoint. He's going to be somebody that makes this squad because of what he does as a gunner on special teams. And then I'm going to go Devin Tompkins. I battled with Noah Brown. I battled with Devin Tompkins. I thought about Shedrick Jackson. But to me, the one player that has showed me some good life as a pass catcher, some good life in the return game, good player on special teams, Devin Tompkins. But, that's our 6th wide receiver. That's a problem. Tariq Young being our wide receiver 5. That's a problem. This wide receiver room is a problem, and I'm only saying that because for Klint Kubiak to take notice to it, I think speaks volumes. This is a wide receiver problem. I'm going to get into more players coming up here in my 53-man roster. We have counted out 13 names so far, 40 more to go. Well, 13 names, you see the number 10. I can save you 10% off on tickets on SeatGeek. Link is going to be down in the comments. It's going to be in the description below. If you need to go to a sporting event this season, SeatGeek is your answer. I'm going to be going to the Raiders Week 10 game against the Seattle Seahawks. You want to hang out and tailgate with me? Go get your tickets. Use code CHAT10 for 10% off your tickets on SeatGeek. True story. I literally just bought my wife's family. I got a birthday gift. I don't think that they're watching right now. I bought somebody in my wife's family tickets to go to a Cowboys and Cardinals game, and I did that for a birthday gift. Why? Because I know the memories that can be created when you go to a sporting event. You might not always remember the score, but you will remember those awesome memories that you had at that event. And for those of you that do not know, we are actually technically giving away some Raiders tickets today. If you don't know that, we are giving away Raiders and 49ers preseason tickets. But if you're like, Mitch, hey, I don't want to have a chance to win them. I want to just go. You can just go get your tickets with that link. And make sure you click that link that's going to be in the description to download the app. Have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Shout out to SeatGeek. Use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. Really, really appreciate them. Really appreciate all of y'all for showing up and showing love to all the sponsors that we have here on the program today. But the bottom line is this. If you plan on going to an event, there's a lot of events that you can go to in Las Vegas. I use SeatGeek. I would like for you guys to use SeatGeek. And if you appreciate what we do here, use code CHAT10. It really helps us out. Let's go to the tight end room next up here on the Raiders Report. And, again, I'm not really going to – there's no real surprises that are coming out from this list here. It's going to be Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and Ian Thomas. You know, I was hopeful that maybe some other players could get into the mix here a little bit, but this is going to be your three tight ends, and I don't think that any people are expecting any different answers out there. Brock's going to be your main guy. Michael's going to be your number two. I want to see a little bit more, though, out of Ian Thomas. I'm not going to lie to you. I would like to see more out of him. He's got to do a better job as a blocker. Quite frankly, this could also be an interesting conversation of maybe the Raiders decide to not keep a tight end like Thomas, but they try to add somebody like a Chris Mirak, who is a fullback tight end hybrid, because they value that backup fullback position more than they do this third tight end position. I don't know. Just something to think about. Coming up next year, though, which offensive linemen end up making this roster? And, you know, I would say that predominantly I have stuck with 9 offensive linemen making the silver and black team. I know Rick Dennison has done a much better job overall with this unit. And despite Jackson Powers-Johnson not playing against the Houston Texans, I will still say confidently that the Raiders are going to keep 9. And I think that you have to keep 9 offensive linemen. Colt Miller is going to be your starting left tackle. Spencer Burford is going to be your starting left guard. Tyler Linderbaum is going to be your starting center. DJ Glaze starting offensive tackle at right tackle. And then I do think it's between JPJ and Caleb Rogers for that starting right guard position. Keep it going here, your backup spots. Trey Zune can play backup swing tackle, and that's really something that they value. He can play literally all 5 positions. Charles Grant can play left tackle. He can play right tackle. Caleb Rogers can play left guard. He can play right guard. And then you got Jordan Meredith. And, you know, I got to give my kudos to Meredith because he did play better in that second preseason game, especially in the pass blocking. Like, if Meredith wants to be a center on this football team, he's got to learn how to pass protect. And it's been a problem. He used to be a good pass protector and guard. I just don't think he's physical enough to play center and pass protect. It's a tough assignment. It is. It's a tough assignment. Overall, though, 9 offensive linemen are going to make this team for me. No surprises in the mix. Yes, Antonio Mafia, I did think played a lot better. Dalton Wagner's watching him celebrate with AOC at the end of that game yesterday was really, really cool. But these are the 9 best offensive linemen, and these are the 9 offensive linemen that the Raiders will keep this upcoming season. We're now going to go to the defensive side of the football. We're going to look at the defensive ends first, and I had the most trouble out of any position on defense with the defensive ends because, you know, like, I want to keep 6 of them. I do. I want to keep 6 defensive ends, and Max Crosby's going to make this team, right? Shocker. I know, breaking news. Kwity Paye, he's going to be number 27. 28's Malcolm Kuntz. Duh. 29 is Kieran Crawford, who you drafted. And now I had the debate. Do I go with Kean Sloan? Do I go with Patrick Johnson? I'm going to go with Kean Sloan, but I want to be extremely, extremely clear here. Patrick Johnson deserves a look. Patrick Johnson deserves a shot. He has been the best player on this defense back-to-back weeks. He was the best player on our defense week 1 against Arizona. He was the best defender that we had yesterday against the Houston Texans. And I want to reward players for that. Like, literally the number one reason why I'm keeping Keon Sloan over Patrick Johnson is Keon Sloan is a young UDFA. Patrick Johnson is 28 years old. Where are the Raiders going to be at in 2 to 3 years? Do I want a 30-year-old Patrick Johnson, or do I want a young 2 to 3 year Keon Sloan? I mean this when I say this, Patrick. I'm rooting for you. You are earning your shield, and quite frankly, I am super proud of how much you've been showing up and showing out in these preseason games, and it kills me. I feel like I'm punching myself. You ever see that video of that Asian guy? He's smacking himself in the nuts with the brick? That's how I feel like right now, not putting Patrick Johnson on this 53-man. Let's go to the defensive tackle room next up here. And, I wanted to see Tonka Hemingway. Unfortunately, he didn't get the opportunity to play, but you did get an opportunity to see some other players get some extra action, like a Trevin Mahe who started, Fali Fakutasi. You had Brandon Cleveland, Thomas Booker, Jonah Laolu. Like, you had a lot of different guys get a lot of different work here on the interior, which was fun to see. But from the defensive tackle standpoint, Tonka Hemingway's been the main guy. Adam Butler is going to be your second player. Thomas Booker was somebody that started. He's going to be another defensive tackle that makes this roster. But, really, I would say there are 4 to 5 DTs that I would say confidently are a lock to make this squad. They're a lock to make it. I do think Adam Butler's a lock. I do think Tonka Hemingway's a lock. Thomas Booker's a lock. Jonah Laolu, though, Jonah Laolu had a really bad face mask call that ticked off Klint Kubiak, and I know that it ticked off Klint Kubiak because he talked about it. For Klint to talk about the mistakes that were made in that football game, it was noteworthy to me. So the other 3 DTs that I have making this roster are going to be Laolu, going to be J.J. Pegues, and then Fali Fakutasi. He played well. He had a solid game. Quite frankly, I think out of all the DTs that I saw play against Houston, he was the best one. Now, the unfortunate part is that means the 7th-round pick, Brandon Cleveland, out of NC State, is a cut candidate. And I know that we drafted him this year, and I know that we're building for the future, but at the same time, we can have certain projects. I think Tonka Hemingway, J.J. Pegues are the 2 players that you say, those are our young project players that we focus on. We still need to have some other players. Jonah Laolu also, though, is still a very young player. He's in the final year of his contract, going to be a free agent next season. So, I like Brandon Cleveland. I want him to get an opportunity on his practice squad. But overall, I think people expect players that you draft to make the squad. I'm just going to tell you, Brandon Cleveland is going to be a cut candidate. We got more players coming up here making this 53-man. We're going to look at the linebacker position next. Well, if you don't know, today's show and every show this upcoming season is going to be presented by Prize Picks. Use code HMA to get $150 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup over on Prize Picks, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball, whether it is football. I mean, man, we got college football right around the corner. We got the actual Raiders football right around the corner. And I know that I'm recording this video on a Friday. And if you guys don't know what Flex Friday is, every Friday users can opt into Flex Friday from the rewards tab and apply a protected play to one Flex Play lineup. If the lineup wins, it pays out normally. If the lineup loses, Prize Picks refunds the entry as bonus lineups, allowing users to run it back without risking additional funds. It's simple weekly promotion that rewards users for coming back each Friday. So one of the lineups that I have, and this is for the Raiders Week 1 game, and you can see it's $5 to win, $70 here. It's a 5-pick. It's a flex play, I believe. Yep, 5. I was going to say, I don't think I would do it. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a flex play. So I'm happy that it's a flex play. I'm going to be honest, I was. But, I'm obviously going to believe in the Raiders. I'm hopeful that we get a win. I did see the Malik Willis Demon, and I know he doesn't throw a lot of picks, but in this mind, Raiders win this game. Dolphins are playing from behind. This is how I did this Prize Picks lineup, and I will get another lineup in. And you can follow all my lineups. Right now, I bet you I have 5, 6 lineups right now at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you follow me at Mitchell Renz 365, I do. I am going to say I have probably more than 6 lineups for this upcoming season, maybe even for Week 1. But real talk, if you plan on watching the Raiders Report, if you plan on sweating out preseason games, if you plan on sweating out regular season games, download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA and get $150 in lineups if you win your first $5 lineups over at PrizePicks. Let's go to the linebacker room here, and I still got to update this depth chart. Honestly, we should put both Nakobe and Quay at middle linebacker. I mean, like both guys are playing Mike, though Nakobe probably plays Mike a little bit more than Quay. Now, neither of those guys played this past game, and that's not really the conversation that we're going to have here. I think realistically, the conversation that needs to be had here is more around Cody Lindenberg, Tommy Eichenberg, Shea Gunalobi, Cameron McGrone, Buddy Johnson, and Xavier Sori Jr., who, honestly, like Buddy Johnson and Sori Jr., they both played well in limited snaps. Cameron McGrone, I thought, had some good reps as well up against Houston. Shea Gunalobi was a player that looked really solid out of all the linebackers, but unfortunately, the conversation that I keep having with myself is Quay Walker makes the team. Nakobe Dean makes the team. It comes down to Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg. I believe the Raiders are going to keep Cody Lindenberg over Eichenberg, and maybe it's for one simple reason and one reason alone. It's because Lindenberg has that extra year of the contract. Eichenberg was drafted in 2024, right? 2024. Lindenberg was drafted in 2025. So because of that logic, you should keep that other player an extra year longer. And I think that's honestly what they're going to do. Shea Gooden's going to help you out on special teams. He was flying around the football field yesterday. I mean, he had a really good game. Like, go watch Shea Gunalobi. He was flying around the football field yesterday. I was really impressed by him. So right now we are at 40 players. 40 players. We only have a few more spots to go. We still got to look at the cornerback room. We still got to look at the safety room, and then we will look at special teams. And this cornerback room, I believe that this team is going to keep 6 corners. Eric Stokes, Taron Johnson, those are the easy names. And then where I think you have to have a conversation is around, do you keep a DeCamerion Richardson? Are you going to keep a Greedy Vance? Are you going to keep one of those two guys? Because unfortunately for Chiganuzia, he suffered an injury yesterday. I don't know what the injury is, but anytime you see a guy get carted off, give me some 29s down below. I think DeCamerion Richardson, though, unfortunately for him, ends up getting cut. He did have a better game than I think what some people are going to give him credit for, and he did have a really bad special teams penalty that Klint Kubiak was not happy about. But to me, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep Greedy Vance on this roster because of what he can do in the nickel. I believe that they look at Taron Johnson and they go, can Greedy Vance be my backup to Taron Johnson? The answer to that is hopefully yes. They want Hezekiah Massis, Ramon McCoy, Darian Porter to be responsible for that other outside corner position because Eric Stokes is the one. And I know that the name hasn't been brought up yet, but Traden Stukes is another guy that can play in that nickel spot. And they're going to use him in that nickel spot, which is now we're going to go to the safety room. Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Palomal, Traden Stukes. Those are going to be the guys that make this team. However, I've done some shows in the past where I've had Tristan McCullum make the roster. Devin Lafayette also, I thought, it did a good job yesterday in special teams, but Tristan McCullum is not going to be somebody that makes this roster. There were some good glimpses yesterday. Like, McCullum showed you why he was a player that they brought back as an exclusive rights free agent early in April. He's a good football player. He's going to consistently be on roster bubbles. The unfortunate part for him, I don't know how he's always going to be man 54, 55, 56, 57 on a roster. I hope that he ends up being on our practice squad, but cutting him, you do save $1.15 million. So Isaiah, Traden Stukes, Jeremy Chin, and then our 5th-round rookie, Dalton Johnson, end up making this 53-man roster, which then brings us to the final part here. And it's not going to be anything that you thought. It's not going to be anything special. It's going to be Matt Gay, A.J. Cole, and Alex Ward. Those, to me, are going to be the 3 players that you keep as your kicker, that you keep as your punter, and that you keep as your long snapper. But then there's the conversation with Kansai Matsuzawa of, at this point, the only way that he can stay on the Raiders is if you make him the International Pathway Program player, because that can't be a roster spot taken up anymore. And I believe in Kansai. I do. I believe in Special K. He just needs to get his confidence up a little bit. But it's not fair to Raiders players. It's not fair to Raider Nation. It's not fair to that special teams unit that needs more competition in that room. Special K, I know you started watching football on YouTube. I hope that you don't get mad at me for saying that, because I do believe in you, and I want you to be the best version of yourself. But right now, I just see somebody that needs to get their confidence up a little bit, and I would love for the Raiders to bring in another kicker for some extra competition. But at this point, if we're going to make guys earn the shield, and that's simple as that, Kansai Matsuzawa has not earned the shield, and there's no way you can tell me he has. So who did I leave off my 53-man roster? Please let me know down below. And I know I probably left off some names, and like the number one name, Patrick Johnson. I do, man. Does anybody like know that video I'm talking about where it's like that? It's just Asian people. They're just like smashing their nuts with a brick. That's how I feel. Like I wanted to figure out a way to put Patrick Johnson on this squad. And to me, like real talk, the only way that it happens is if the Raiders carry 2 quarterbacks, Aidan O'Connell's not on this roster anymore, and then I keep it Patrick Johnson. Like, that's the only way that I think I can do it. Or you keep 8 offensive linemen, but I don't really like that idea all that much. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's how it goes. And if you guys made it this far in the video and you want to show some love to the Raiders Report, go get yourself some Raiders Report merch. Chatsports.com/RR shop. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Big Raz, what's going on? Yeah, Big Raz says, or 8 offensive linemen, not 9. Like, the reason why you might be able to get away with that, Big Raz, shout out to one of the moderators here, one of the realest ones in the building, is because Trey Zune can play all 5 spots. Caleb Ryders can play both guard spots. Charles Grant can play both offensive tackle spots. Like, if you wanted to go with that logic, you could do it. I think the number one reason why the Raiders will not do it is because of Jackson Powers-Johnson's injury history. Like, the only way that you can keep 8 offensive linemen is if you're very confident in your starting 5 that they can be healthy. There's no way you could tell me JPJ is guaranteed to be healthy. So because of that, if Caleb starts, then we're going to need an extra guy. I do not think, like, that's why they would keep Meredith. That's why they would keep Meredith. You got signed out? It's brutal. It's just brutal. Brutal. Coop DeVille. Coop DeVille. Coop DeVille. I've heard it before. A beat-up Cadillac. Coop DeVille. I mean, I'm from Danville. We got Coop, Danville. That's where my mind went. See, I'm not a car guy. I'm not a car guy, Kel. Shout out to you, though. We got 2 more supers. What up, Nav? The younger Coop, Little Deuce Coop. That's not going to work. Courtesy of Butters, and Keelan O'Leary has it for the elder Coop. There's no way I'm calling him Little Deuce Coop. He goes, it might as well just be little shit. What up, Alan Ruiz? Been having this realization lately that maybe we are watching the beginning of a dynasty, and it's a great feeling. Yeah, what's so cool about the preseason is a game like yesterday, I've seen so many different opinions on the game yesterday. I've seen so many fans that are like very happy about the game. I've seen some fans that are very upset about the game. I've seen people where, like it's like me. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit. I'm in between. But like, I do think that there are some really good. And yesterday I had a lot of people text me like, Mitch, calm down. It's just a preseason game, and I respect anybody that's like watches the show enough. I only give my phone number to certain people, so like when people reach out to me, obviously, I appreciate it. But if I could go back and talk to myself in yesterday's preseason game, I think I would have talked myself down off the ledge a little bit, just because when you do go back and you watch Mendoza's throws, like truthfully, that's the number one reason why I felt the way that I did yesterday. I just wanted to have a better feel about where Fernando was, where our offense was with Mendoza. And I just wanted to get more of those opportunities to see that. But truthfully, like him under center, you could tell he's already so much more comfortable. He's making very high-level throws, like throws that, like, the video that I did today was like, Mendoza's not a bust. And I've already heard people using the bust word. It's a stupid thing to even say. And it's why I talked about it on my Overreaction Friday video. But, like, the throws Fernando's making, they're extremely high-level throws. Like, and he's under center. You can tell he's reading defenses. The problem is he's making one bad mistake. It's got to get cleaned up. And I hope that it does. And I hope that we get to see the best version of 15 moving forward, because there's a lot of good there.
I was going to ask you, do you remember how you were feeling last year at this point in the preseason? Like, do you think whatever you're watching is like Oh man, like a little bit more hopeful than last year.
If I've learned any Raiders preseason, truly it doesn't matter. Like, and with a new head coach, the preseason is always so hard to tell. Like, I remember the first year when McDaniels was head coach, the Raiders went 4-0 in that preseason. We looked unbelievable. Like, there was even a report, like, I forget who the Raiders played in joint practice. I think it was the Patriots. And we mopped them in joint practice. And, like, then regular season comes and we just don't look good. We don't look prepared. I look at little things of, like penalties, the missed tackles. Like, I want to see that stuff get cleaned up. I want to see a team that learns from their mistakes because, like, as a fan, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a coaching staff that's been able to get these guys to do the simple things. And that also adds up over the long course of the season. But I wish I had a better answer for you. But after 4 straight years of a different head coach in the preseason, a lot of times what happens in the preseason doesn't matter. I remember Chris Warren. People were calling him Baby Bo Jackson a few years ago in the preseason when he led the NFL in rushing yards in the preseason. And a lot of you are probably going, who the hell's Chris Warren? Exactly. Chris, I'm just happy we have strong talent in our quarterback room now. Choosing between 1, 2, and 3 is a good problem to have. I agree that our quarterback room is a lot better than what people think, but this isn't a 1, 2, and 3. It's really just 1 and 2. Aidan O'Connell's along for the ride, and Aidan knows that. Like the number one reason why Aidan O'Connell won't be on the Raiders this season is because Aidan wants an opportunity elsewhere. And I don't blame Aidan for wanting an opportunity elsewhere. But, like, at the same time, it's not going to be with the Raiders. It's not. No, he could go out there and he could be 15 of 15, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns yesterday, and it would not have mattered because it's Kirk Cousins, it's Fernando Mendoza. And the fact that Cousins didn't even play yesterday tells me it's his job, it's going to be his job, it's always been his job. And I don't think many people, it's not a 1, 2, 3. I hear you. It's a good 1, 2, 3 problem to have. And we have 3 really good quarterbacks. We do. We have 3 good quarterbacks right now. Now, not 3 quarterbacks to win NFL games, but we have a good starter. We have a good young backup in Mendoza who's got a bright future. And then whatever you think Aidan O'Connell is, I think he might be the best quarterback 3 in the NFL. I think he's top 50 good. I do. I think he's top 50 good. What do coaches see in Jordan Meredith at center? I think they see a player who's a good communicator. Last year I was definitely big on JPJ to center. Obviously, the more and more conversations that I've had over the past 2 weeks, I think the Raiders they want consistency. They want a player that they know is going to be a hardworking guy in the locker room, is going to be somebody that they can depend on being healthy. And I know health is always a question mark, but I actually don't think it's so much they want Jordan Meredith to play that center spot. It's like they kind of need him to be the backup center. Like, they don't want to have JPJ in that pinch because I don't think that they believe in JPJ's consistency. They know he's got upside, but there is some of that unknown when it comes to Jackson. They want Caleb Rogers to play guard. They want Zune to play these other spots. They want Charles Grant to play offensive tackle. So I think, to get them the best personnel packages that they can get, they're going to look at Jordan Meredith, and they want him to play center. I think it's more out of what they want all the other guys to do. So because they spent all that money on, Tyler Linderbaum, not to say that the backup position center is their least important on that offensive line, but I think because they spent so much money on Linderbaum, they're going, let's just put Meredith at center because in a pinch, maybe he goes in. But, if Linderbaum goes down, I don't want to see Jordan Meredith starting at center. I would want to see JPJ at center. I would. Craig, with Vita's extension and Keenan Allen signed, I assume we are waiting for cut downs for any wide receiver defensive tackle additions. Do you agree? You could see some moves happen today. I think you could see some moves happen on Saturday and Sunday. If I'm the Raiders, you do have to make some moves before that final preseason game because you're not going to see any of those starters out there. You got to get a proper evaluation of which players you're going to be bringing in and cutting. And then once August 30th, 6 p.m. rolls around, then, yeah, you're probably going to see some extra movement. But at this point, there's really nobody, I'm going to say, on the open market that you could add that's going to make that big of a difference for this team right away. Trades, maybe, but on the open market right now, no, there's not a lot out there. I have to go pee. Can I go pee real quick? Sorry, y'all. I'm going to go pee real quick. When I get back, I believe we are all caught up on the Super Chat, so we have a mailbag to get into. That mailbag's going to happen, and then that is going to be the final segment that I have on the show today. It is Friday. I am off tomorrow. We are off tomorrow. So if anybody, you're not off tomorrow? Nope, never mind. Reed's not off tomorrow. Going live for Bucks? Shit, maybe I'll go live for Bucks tomorrow. Real talk. I'll just like pull up, maybe do a beer or something. I don't know. Like, what time's? No, what time's the game tomorrow? I might be able to go for like a run or work out, pop in. Oh, they're playing the Chiefs? Yeah, I might be here. Give me some FKCs down below. No, but maybe we'll get into a little bit of a happy hour. I feel a lot better today than I did last Friday, but I was also not nearly as banged up as I was after that game. So it's Friday. If anybody's down to get down, I'm kind of always down to get down. But we got one more mailbag to get to, and then after that, I will give you guys my deal for Raiders Friday Happy Hour.
What's going on, everybody? Coop, do you want to hang out with them? Yeah, you want to come hang out? I think that we can hear as we're right here. But if you guys did not, they know what you look like.
They do. I mean, for whoever was here last night, you saw me chugging a little coffee boot and saw me chugging another one, and we'll see. Maybe we get another one today. It's gonna take a lot more today, though.
I came into work today, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got 3 hours of sleep." I was like, "What happened?" Like, coffee boot. Like, uh-oh, what happened? Buckeye Raider, what's going on? Also, make sure you guys use #Raiders if you guys want to ask a question. I only have a couple questions in there. We're gonna use some super chats as well for the mailbag coming up, but if you super chat, you can jump in front of the line. You guys know the deal. Anybody new though that does not know the deal, #Raiders or super chat, and we'll answer some questions on the show. You get featured on the show. What do you think your nickname should be?
You can't give yourself a nickname. You just truly can't. If I started throwing out my own nicknames, that would just be weird. That being said, like God, like that would be a good one. Aidan O'Connell. Nice AOC. Lord and Savior. It's AOC, not me. Well, you know what? Either works. I don't know.
Alan, you live in KC? Ew.
But he's still typing FKC, so,
Yeah.
I mean, he knows. I'm from Rhode Island, so I'm surrounded by Patriots fans.
Yeah, who was in Rhode Island?
There was someone in this chat from Rhode Island. Definitely wasn't a person I know, because everyone I know is a dumb Patriots fan. Like Alper. If we're picking top 10 to 15 in the draft this year, would you rather go defensive tackle or wide receiver? Wide receiver, 100%. I mean, if you're top 10 to 15, that's just not good no matter what, because we're hoping to be pick 32 every single year. And we expect to be pick 32 every single year. But that being said, especially if you're planning on going in with Mendoza next year, have to address wide receiver first. You can sign a defensive tackle, and sure, you can sign wide receivers, but you got to get some youth in there. Let's get some Jeremiah Smith. I don't know. A blasphemer?
You're blasphemy. Blasphemy. AOC isn't the best quarterback on this team. Cousins is.
AOC is nothing. Oh, shit.
It's our resident Chiefs fan. We're live on Raiders.
Type F Parker in the chat.
Yeah, Parker's here. I don't know where my windscreen went. Chiefs. We're very. Oh, you see it? Oh, thank you. Oh God, this thing's messed up. Yeah, if you guys want to pull up to Buccaneers breakdown on tomorrow around 7 o'clock Eastern time, I will be live watching the Bucks kick the crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs. All of our starters are playing, so you guys are screwed. Oh my God, you have Justin Fields and we don't. Thank God. Sin said most teams that have a true wide receiver 1 haven't done much. Parker can park it. Oh, there you go. By the way, these are the deals. 100 likes, we'll give away a raffle entry. $5, you get a fantasy raffle entry. And then $10, you get a chance to win some tickets to the next Raiders and last Raiders preseason game. $20 Venmo duck race. So if you send in $30, you get in both of those. And then obviously $100. Alan, what did Alan say? What did Alan ask? Alan asked something good? I don't know. Alan, somebody said Alan had a good question. I'm just trying to help understand that our coaches are playing the best quarterback. I mean, the best quarterback is Kirk. AOC is good, and he had a great drive. I think it's Kirk Cousins though. Oh man, Parker's talking some shit right now behind the camera. He's scared.
Scared? There's no room over there.
There's room up there. Yeah. Ron asked 10 to 15 pick. I want Jeremiah Smith, but top 10 pick or top 5 pick. What's up, Javier? I think Mitch is pooping. I love Vehal is just spamming AOC.
As he should.
Are you talking about Xavier? Are you talking about who is this guy next to me? This is Cooper Smith, the future producer of the Raiders Report. He's taking over whenever he's ready. That's up to him.
I have no idea.
Now we'll get him we'll get him up and running. But this is Cooper. He's been he's a lifelong Raiders fan, and he loves to do coffee boots too. So big fan of coffee boots. For anyone that doesn't know, who are you?
Well, if you don't recognize my face, my icon on YouTube was the Syracuse mascot, and I was frequently watching these videos and these lives. So I'm familiar. I've talked to a lot of you, and you'll get to know me. We'll see.
It'll be fun. No, I mean honestly, like I know a bunch of people for a long time, and like, hey, like, are we gonna get a Raiders producer in here? So the fact that we were able to hire somebody who, crazy enough, I actually met Cooper and his dad in Las Vegas back in the Raiders Monday Night Football game. The game like Zay Jones had the walk-off touchdown. They were at that Raiders Report party. Kind of wild, but coffee boot is wild. I mean, I'm telling you this, and maybe it's TMI. When I got home last night. Like even like I bet I woke up 3 times in the middle of the night last night. How bad I had to pee. Oh, I'm not kidding you. I woke up like 2 times. Like it was red alert.
Dude, Cooper is Mendoza.
Why is that?
Because we're just waiting for him to start.
Waiting for him to get in there.
He's developing right now, and then he'll start.
Does that make you Kirk Cousins or Lopez?
I think that makes me AOC. I'm AOC. I just had a generational run.
Oh,
I had a generational run. The people love me.
That's hilarious.
Chugs is Derek Carr.
He is Derek Carr.
And then we got Mendoza right here. Mendoza's the future.
Mitch, did I wash my hands? Always.
Dude, that's his nickname. Mendoza.
Mendoza? Coop Doza. There's way, way worse nicknames. All right, y'all, here's what we're going to do. We are going to get into a mailbag here on the Raiders Report. After this mailbag, I got 2 things that I have to do. We're going to do a duck race, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Right now, you would be in for a shot to win. Though, make sure, are you keeping track of these? Yeah, well, the Butter's name. What's the Butter's name? That should be an August raffle. Yep. You're good. No, you're okay. I never had that name. Let me just get an updated number here. All right, so the last thing that I saw in the duck race was Darian Schofield. Friendly reminder, $20 Venmo. Right now, you would be in for a chance to win. It looks like, you would be,
Big Raz is funny. He goes, Reed, you're better than AOC. Don't put yourself that low on the totem pole, brother.
Damn.
I mean, he almost beat the Chiefs that one year, remember?
He did beat the Chiefs one year.
But the other year.
Hey, man, like I got a lot of love and respect for AOC. Francisco, Phillip, Raymond is the only other name we need. Raymond Sanchez. 20 to win, $60 here on the show today. And then also, it is a $10 Venmo for a shot to win 4 Raiders preseason tickets next week against the San Francisco 49ers. We got one more segment to do, and here's what I'm going to say. If you guys want us to do a happy hour style show, show me during the mailbag. If you want me to stay live a little bit longer, show me during the mailbag that we should stay live a little bit longer for a happy hour segment. I think I got a few beers that I could put down today. I'm not going to lie to you. I know it's Friday. I'm off tomorrow. I really didn't get all that crazy last night. It was a late night here for my team and I. But at the end of the day, we are Night Devil. Yes. Yeah, I got you, Night Devil. At the end of the day, I'm down to get down. What do you say? We are. I mean, Penn State's having a rough few weeks in the headlines. Pablo Plejgabar. What are we doing? So the way that this is going to go is it's going to be like 15, 20 minutes of me answering questions from all of y'all. I know that a lot of Super Chats have already come in, and we'll probably go through some of those Super Chats on this mailbag. If you want a new question to get on, you're going to have to use hashtag Raiders, but I would imagine Super Chats only are going to get on. If I don't get any other questions really after this mailbag, like I said, we can do those. We can do the raffle. We can do the duck race. We can hop on out of here, or I can stay longer. It's really, truly up to all of y'all. What up, Butters? Jack just needs to tackle, but he reads plays so well. I think Jack Besh is. I think Jack Besh is a lot smarter of a football player than what he gets credit for. I think he's a good blocker. I think he's a good football player in a Klint Kubiak offense. Do I think he's ever going to be a wide receiver 2? No. Do I think he's ever going to be worth a receiver you draft in round 2? No. But I do think he's going to be a good player. Oh, Jack Jones? That's on me. I think Jack Jones has got a lot of talent, but that's another guy the very high and low. Very, very high and low. All right, guys, let's do it. Mailbag time coming up here on the Raiders Report starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it going. Raider Nation, it's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and it's mailbag time. Think of this show as the major questions, the biggest rumors, the biggest storylines coming out from Raider Nation after a 22-20 win over the Texans, but also rolling into that final week against the 49ers in that final preseason game with just a week away from roster cuts. If you don't know when roster cuts are, it's going to be on August 30th. It's on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to be live for roster cut down day. So all the questions that you're about to see on this show presented by Prize Picks is going to be from Raider Nation after that game. I got a lot of love for Prize Picks, even though I did not win my lineup. I'm hopeful that people still rock with me at Mitchell Renz 365. Let's go to the very first one coming in here from Michael. What does Mendoza have to do from here on to start? He's not going to start. Like Klint Kubiak not playing Kirk Cousins, not playing the starters in that Week 2 game, that told me that Kirk Cousins is the quarterback 1. And again, I'm recording this video on Friday. I know Kubiak in his post-game presser was essentially not going to name the Week 1 starting quarterback, but he has. The plan has always been Kirk Cousins. Cousins has always been the plan to be the Week 1 starter. And even though Kubiak might not say it, he said it in that Week 2 game, starting Fernando with the backups. Fernando is the quarterback 2. The quarterback 1 is Kirk Cousins. There's a reason why Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, Trey Tucker, certain players, the starting offensive line did not play. They are the ones. Cousins is the one, and I don't think that there's anything that Fernando can do from here on out that's going to make him the week 1 starter. At this point, if Kirk Cousins wins, he stays the starter. If Kirk Cousins loses, he will not stay the starter. That's how it's going to be. Let's keep it going here. Raider Ruckus. Does Aidan get traded after his game against the Texans? I mean, there's a possibility. It's funny that you even bring this up because I knew that we were going to talk about Aidan O'Connell a ton today. And, I was excited to talk about AOC. But, right now, I would say the New England Patriots, the Indianapolis Colts, Detroit Lions, probably the top 3 teams off my noggin right now that I would say would be teams that would even consider trading for him. But, there has to be an injury. There has to be a cause that would lead to an Aidan O'Connell trade. There's not going to be a team that just goes, hey, I'm going to give you a 7th-round pick for AOC. The Raiders should take that trade because you save $3.7 million if you're able to move on from him. But, Aidan has shown with different head coaches, different offensive coordinators, that he could still be a good professional. Whatever you think about AOC from a starter standpoint, take that out of your mind. Aidan O'Connell is a good professional quarterback in the idea of that he's a pro's pro. He can pick up a playbook. He can be a good backup, and he's been able to do it with multiple different regimes on a lot of bad football teams. Real talk, Aidan O'Connell's been the best quarterback on the Raiders, considering Gardner Minshew, Geno Smith, guys that are making way more money than he is right now. But I think the top 3 teams that would make the trade, if Daniel Jones' injury pops up, Aidan O'Connell's better than Riley Leonard. If Drake May injury pops up, Aidan O'Connell is better than Tommy DeVito, and McDaniels is the guy that drafted him. And I know that the Teddy Bridgewater retire happened. They went out and they signed Josh Dobbs. But, if Jared Goff were to go down, I think the Lions could be a team that picks up the phone. But, here's got to be the conversation, and thank you for making this. But, would you take this trade? If you're a Raiders fan and you're going, no, I'm not taking a 7th-round pick for Aidan O'Connell, you don't want to trade him. And there's the hard part of the conversation of, I don't really want to trade Aidan O'Connell. I think he'd be a good backup with Fernando Mendoza. In the same breath, though, if you think that you're going to get anything higher than a 7th-round pick for him, I'm sorry. That's not how you should look at it. You should look at this and go, this is a win for the Raiders. So you know what? I'm going to ask you, who wins this trade? If you think it's the Raiders, type Raiders. If you think it's the Colts, type Colts. If you're a Colts fan, I don't want Aidan O'Connell. I'm just simply trying to show Raiders fans that it's okay to get a 7th-round pick because this is a win. Because I'm not necessarily looking at it just from the 7th-round pick standpoint. I'm looking at it as I'm saving $3.7 million. Can I use that $3.7 million and invest that into another player? Aidan is too good to be a quarterback 3. Aidan's future is not with Las Vegas. And because Raiders fans keep on bringing up Aidan O'Connell, it would be the number 1 reason why this organization could move on from him. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Aidan wanted to move on from this organization because he wants to start. He wants an opportunity, and it's not here in Las Vegas. It's just a simple fact. Now, if you guys are looking for Raiders content all season long, hit that subscribe button, and shout out to everybody that helped me get through the dog days. I know that I try to get you guys through the dog days in May, June, July, and August, but you guys do the exact same thing for me. If you're a real one and you hit that subscribe button already, let me know down below how long you've been a real one for. We got more questions coming up in just a moment here on the show. Before we do, though, major shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app out there. And whether you're watching this show on a Friday, maybe you're watching the show on Sunday, if you're watching me talk about Prize Picks, it's probably because I get lineups in. And I'm going to get a lineup in for the Raiders' 3rd and final preseason game up against the San Francisco 49ers. But you know what? I also have season-long lineups. I got week 1 lineups. I have other lineups that aren't Raiders-related. And if you don't know where to follow me, you can follow me on Prize Picks at Mitchell Renz 365 because I'm going to put a lineup in almost every single Raiders game day. I guarantee I'll have a lineup in. Now, Thursday night football games, there are going to be some fun ones that we do. This is a lineup that I have. It's a 10 to pay, $100 power play. You have to pick somebody on another team. So some people are always like, why do you always include somebody else? This is the Raiders report. You have to do that. You can't submit a lineup with just Raiders players. You have to include somebody else from another team. So, when I do a lineup, if the Raiders are playing the Dolphins, I'm going to put some Dolphins guys in the lineup. And I hate to say it, but Devon Achane against this run defense, probably going to go more on the 76.5. I hope that Malik Willis throws an interception. It was a demon pick. If you plan on watching the Raiders-Dolphins game with me, download the PrizePicks app, use code HMA, and if you win that first $5 lineup, you're going to be able to get $150 in lineups to be able to play with over on PrizePicks, where it feels good to be right. Let's go to my guy Nab, man. We have 5 untested wide receivers. We want to get more untested wide receivers. I think what you're saying here, Nab, is like there's not any good receivers really on the open market. Like we can say that our receiver room isn't very good, but, like, what are we going to do about it? You want to add a DeAndre Hopkins? You want to add a Brandon Cooks? Like, do we really think that those guys are legitimately better options? Like, I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins is not going to be a wide receiver 1 on this team. Brandon Cooks is going to be high up on this team. Like, the Raiders let go of opportunities with Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, like Juwan Jennings. There were opportunities to make improvements to this wide receiver room, and I don't think that it should be swept under the rug that Klint Kubiak said that this receiver room took a step back. I am going to have my eyes glued for the trade market. There's going to be names, and we've already heard names like Kayshon Boutte. There's been names out there like Jerry Jeudy. Like, if I'm the Raiders, I'm sniffing around this wide receiver trade market because it has not looked good. Our receiver room has not looked good, and the fact that Trey Tucker didn't play tells me that Trey Tucker is without a doubt the number 1 wide receiver for the Raiders. Whatever you think of Trey Tucker, he's not a number 1 receiver. Los Oakland, what up, man? Should the Raiders ask the Patriots for a wide receiver trade or wait for Jeremiah Smith? I mean, I would say the top 2 receivers that you would trade for from New England are Kayshon Boutte or Kyle Williams, and both of those are going to be a pretty high-level pick. Breaking news in the NBA, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson going to the Heat. Interesting. Congratulations to Rolly. I know it's in the middle of a mailbag. It is what it is. I kind of forgot there for a second. But also, if I had to pick, go get Jeremiah Smith. But the other problem is that means your top 5 pick. If you want Jeremiah Smith, you better be in the top 5. I don't want the Raiders to be in the top 5. I don't think we're a bottom 5 team in the NFL. But if I had to pick between trading for anybody from New England or Jeremiah Smith, I would pick Jeremiah Smith over A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's not coming to the Raiders. What up, Brian? Fun fantasy question for you. Who has more total yards, Mike Washington Jr. or Michael Mayer this season? Also, I love the profile picture. That's like me and Chuck back in the old days, Raiders Report suit style. First off, I don't even think this is a fantasy question. It's like not PPR. Like you're just like, who has more yards? It's kind of an interesting one, though. So you got Mike Washington Jr., the running back, the backup to Ashton Genty. And you got Michael Mayer, the backup. How about this? It's kind of a fun question. Let's go 87 if y'all think it's Mayer. Give me a 30 for Mike Washington Jr. Read and react, baby. I love it. Let's go. Michael Mayer type 87, Mike Washington Jr. type 30. I mean, it's kind of an interesting question because I could absolutely see both of these guys somewhere around 400, 500, 600 yards of total offense. Is it crazy that I want to go Mike Washington Jr.? I mean, he's looked so good this offseason. I mean, he's looked really, really good. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. I'll go Mike Washington Jr. F it. I want to say 30, but I do really think it's going to be close. I think Mayer, and I want Mayer to be around 400, 500 yards, and I want Mike Washington Jr. to be around 400, 500 yards. So let's go with it, man. Mike Washington Jr., he's looked really good. Type those 30s. Greg Nelson, did Stooks look good as I thought he did? I was impressed by how Traden Stooks played. I was impressed by how he played in zone. I was impressed by how he kind of like handed off certain receivers. There was a few plays that I watched where you could tell it started to connect a little bit more. I mean, they still have Isaiah Paul-Mal as the starting free safety. I think that they want him to be the starting free safety at this point, but I think what you're seeing out of Stooks is some encouraging. It's encouraging. Like, he is a better cover safety. The area that Stooks needs to improve upon, and you can see it at times, is our secondary is soft. We have a missed tackle problem. We have a tackling problem, and that happens when, you got a Jermon McCoy, Traden Stooks, Hezekiah Masses, Darian Porter. Those are 4 corners that I don't really think want to get all that physical. And it can add up, right? And, I think, you need 2 linebackers and Quay Walker and Jacoby Dean to be able to help those guys. You need a Jeremy Chin out there to be able to help those guys. I also think Stooks needs to show a little bit more physicality, but from a coverage standpoint, he's already light years better than Isaiah Paul-Mal. Mr. Reezy, what do coaches see in Jordan Meredith at center? I think it's the idea that They like him from the mentality up here. They also really believe in Tyler Linderbaum. So think about from the offensive line standpoint. I think that they believe that their strongest asset on that offensive line is Linderbaum, and their weakest link is Meredith. So I think that that's also the reason why they have him there. They also want Trey Zune to be able to focus on playing basically every other position. They want Caleb Rogers to focus on guard. They want Charles Grant to focus on tackle. So because JPJ, unfortunately, has been inconsistent in his ability to stay healthy, I think that they just look at that backup center spot as going, who can be that guy? And it can be Jordan Meredith just from a backup. But I'll tell you this, if Linderbaum goes down, I would want Jackson Powers Johnson to start at center. Like I would want JPJ to go to center, and I would want Caleb Rogers to kick over to guard. I would not want that situation to be, all right, now we're putting Jordan Meredith at center. Like, maybe that's a harsh thing to say, but I don't think anybody would want to see that. What up, Jeremy? Did you see Jeremiah Knight? Oh, dude. I knew that I was going to get one of these questions, and I actually DM'd Jeremiah because I commented on one of his posts, and he messaged me, and I told him, like, hey, man, get back to me. I don't think he's sent me yet, but I had so many fans. Yeah, so for those that don't know, this young man, his name is Jeremiah Knight. He posted on social media, no shirt, and he was like, hey, Raiders, like basically like give me an opportunity. So I commented on the post. I told him to DM me. He did DM me. I have not talked to him since, but I don't know too much about his game. I respect anybody that wants to be a member of the Raiders, though I'm starting to see he's doing this with every NFL team, and I don't blame him. He's shooting a shot. I do also believe that he played on a football team with one of my buddies. The unfortunate news for him is he's a 26-year-old receiver that hasn't played in the NFL, was a very low levels of professional football. Now, you still played professional football, and that's nothing to scoff at, and I don't mean to scoff at. I played Bundesliga baseball in Germany, so, like, I know what it takes. Like, my cousin Andrew, he played in Prague, and like I said, I had some people play in the professional Mexico Football League, and it looks like he was an MVP in one of those leagues. I have not done any homework on him, and I'm just going to say I can't imagine the Raiders are going to bring in a 27, 28-year-old receiver that doesn't have any NFL experience on the roster. I appreciate you hitting me up. I did DM you some questions. If you want to answer those questions, maybe I'll do a little bit more breakdown on it, but I did see Jeremiah Knight. No, I do not think the Raiders are going to show him any interest, but I'll tip my cap to the young man for saying, hey, I want to be noticed. There you go. I got you. Alan Ruiz, been having this realization lately that maybe we are watching the beginning of a dynasty. I think when you watch Fernando Mendoza throw, you're going to see a lot more good than bad. And, like, that's the God-honest truth. Like, and when I went back and I watched the film this morning, I feel so much better about Fernando. And the frustration was more from you just wanted to see the drive finish. You know, like the drops by Malik, it sucked because I felt like I got blue balled at those drives, right? Like I did. Like I wanted to see more, and I wanted to see Fernando go out there and do his thing. But like the only way that you can use dynasty, the Raiders haven't shown you anything on offense, defense, or special teams this offseason that would even reek of the word dynasty. The only way that you could use that D word is if you're like, I've seen what Fernando Mendoza is, and I believe Fernando Mendoza is going to be that guy because some of the throws that he's ripping, there's not many quarterbacks in the NFL that are ripping the throws that he's already ripping, and he looks good. Got to clean up the mistakes, but there's a lot of throws he's making where you're like, that's some high-level shit. Isaac, what up, man? What Raiders players do you miss watching the most? I love this question. Can I say Derek Carr? Is that crazy to say? I never thought I would say Derek Carr, but I do. I miss watching Carr. I miss watching Darren Waller when he was at his elite level. Like that 2019 year, he was unbelievable. Such an awesome story. I miss watching Hunter Renfrow. Watching him absolutely cook guys in the secondary was a lot of fun. He was an absolute route technician. I miss watching my guy, Big Time Hank. Shout out to my dude, Jonathan Hankins. Nick Kwiatkowski, I got to have a good relationship with him. He was one of my buddies a few years back. Oh, boy. Jermaine Illuminor, I miss watching him. He was always a really fun guy to talk to. I appreciated our relationship when he was here. See, I didn't follow the Raiders yet when Nnamdi was a corner. Like, obviously, like, I knew of Nnamdi Asomugha. I've told the story before, like, a bunch of my friends, they're Eagles fans. My one buddy, he was the closer on our baseball team. he would sign his name as Nnamdi Asomugha. And I used to be like, his name was Chad Frankenfield. Shout out to Chad Frankenfield. And he'd be like, well, he's like, nobody ever checks my signature. And I'm like, I guess you're right. But he would sign shit Nnamdi Asomugha. Like the amount of shit that's probably signed around Centenary College, like he would sign walls. Like he would just sign shit. Nnamdi Asomugha. That was the year they made that deal. Yeah, we'll go with that. Shout out to all y'all, man. The preseason MVPs have been Jerry Danley. And I don't know who it's going to be week 3, but I might guess it's going to be Jerry Danley. Shout out to all y'all that pull up, show up, and show out every single Raiders game day. And if you don't know, the Raiders Report is where you should be at on game days. We do a bunch of prizes. We gave away a signed Bo Jackson helmet. Shout out to Danley, who was the MVP, and he won that. Shout out to Lord Cameron Abbott, won himself a Raiders Report boot and a Matt Gay jersey. Also, we gave away $1,000 to the winner of the duck race. Second place won $580. Third place, Gabriel Ruiz, ended up going home with over $100. If you can't make it to the Raiders game, the number one place you should be is right here on the Raiders Report. Over 100,000 fans, back-to-back preseason games. Can only imagine what the regular season is going to be like. All right, fam, we got your final chance here to get in the duck race. $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 if you're trying to get it in. If you're trying to get it in. Also, I've been hearing a lot of this boot race talk. You got a coffee boot in you? You got a coffee boot in you? I'll say this right now. Coop's been talking a lot about a coffee boot. I kind of need a little bit of caffeine. I'll make y'all a deal, okay? If we get 2 bangs on the show right now, I'm racing Coop in a coffee boot. You might not think it's kind of an electric ride. I mean, it's going to wake you up. Reed's like, I am not. That's coffee. Oh, my God, coffee in it. I'm telling you, last night, I mean, when I did that coffee boot yesterday, I mean, it was, it did. I mean, it woke me up. I also love coffee, so I'm always down for a little bit of coffee. So here's how we're going to do it. $20 Venmo to get in the duck race. $10 Venmo. We're going to be giving away Raiders and 49ers preseason tickets. Final chance for you to get in. Final chance for you to get in on those 2 prizes. I am going to add a few more names here to the duck race. Though it looks like you got Bayou. So duck race is $20 to win $100. And so that name that I put in, that's Bayou. No, you're good. You're good. You'll learn. Well, there's just certain names that like Bayou. So he put your real name in like for the duck race, and I was like, we'll just get rid of the real name, put Bayou. Like there's just some names that I've learned over the years, over the months. 20 to win, $100. Let's do right now this raffle for the preseason tickets. So right now, as it stands, and also 22 people are in. $10 Venmo for Raiders 49ers preseason tickets. Also, can we give a shout out to my guy Steven Hansen? You know what? Here, wait. Let's do this. I have an idea. We'll just do that. Just so all y'all know, this does not count for our boot competition. This is me just showing some love to somebody who donated some tickets. Steven, are you here? Or how about instead of 100, just put preseason tickets? Steven, are you here? Does anybody see Steven Hansen? Oh, yes, sir, in the building, Mr. Hansen. Which, Steven, really, man, like, shout out to you for donating these tickets. Did you see the photos that we showed the other day of Honcho and his family? Like, they sent us some photos. They put them on the show. They were very, very happy. Unbelievable experience. Like, they, I Again, like to me, like people donate and stuff like this, it's really flipping cool. So let's do it. Steven Hansen! Bang! Hansen dropping not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Raiders preseason tickets against the 49ers. Shout out to my guy, Steven Hansen. Well, guess what? Somebody's got to win these tickets. And this is your final chance for a shot to win them. $10 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 if you want a shot to win. If not, it's okay. I gave you plenty of time. I know that not everybody's able to win. But, Steven, and any Raider fan out there, like if you have tickets that you want to give away, if you have something Raiders that you want to give away, shout out to my guy, Taino. He's been hooking us up with stuff left and right. It makes the show more fun. It makes my job more fun. It makes this community a lot stronger. I think people will recognize you just for, like honestly, like I was talking to Sancho, and Sancho was like flat out. He's like, I hope I get the chance to meet Steven Hansen one day. Like, I would want to meet you too. I do want to meet you. Like it's, I like if you paid for an experience like that for me and my family, and I mean, I get it. It's a chance. Anybody's got a chance to win, but like, that makes this show a lot more fun. And, Steven, I do, man. I really appreciate it. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, like, I'm going to be out there week 10. Like, if somebody has 4 tickets, and if you want to watch the game with my dad and his girlfriend, let me know. Because if not, I'm going to buy my dad tickets. And, like, I want to be able to buy my dad tickets. And I don't mind even, like, paying tickets, off of you. But if there's a Raiders fan out there that wants to watch that Raiders week 10 game with my dad and his girlfriend, and you got 2 extra seats, let me know, man. I would love that. And I know that they would love that. My dad, because he can't sit with me because I'm going to be sitting somewhere else with Alex. My dad honestly would love to sit with one of y'all. If Nathan Wolf was here, my dad would love to sit with Nathan Wolf. Man, I know he's met with like some of you guys, but he would lose his shit. He'd be more excited to watch the game with y'all than even watch the game with me probably. He's stoked about it. So here we go. This is what's going to happen. This is not for the duck race. This is for the preseason tickets. I'm looking one more time. We're all good. The winner of this, there's 22 people that are in this. The winner of this is going home with 4 preseason tickets for Raiders up against the San Francisco 49ers. Whoever wins.
Shuffle.
I need your email. Like the only way I can send you the tickets, the only way I can transfer you the tickets is if I get your email. Sound good? I need your email. Have I made it clear that I need your email if you win? So if you win, I need your email. I'm going to need your email.
Wait, what happens if they win?
If they win, I'm going to need their email.
Okay.
So on Venmo, you should DM me your email. If you have an email,
what happens if they get the tickets? They win the tickets.
They should check their email for the tickets.
All right, yeah.
So if you have an email, I need your email. Email. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Steven Hansen for being a real one, donating the tickets, and we are off. Come on, man. We got, is that Kenneth Hoffman? Really excited about Kenneth Hoffman's name, apparently. Wolverine X-Men. Alex McGuire. Francisco Ramirez. Alex McGuire. Wolverine, Fat Sal down there at the bottom. I think Nicholas right now. Alex McGuire, Nicholas Francisco Rodriguez. You know what this reminds me of? The Little Rascals. Do you know the movie The Little Rascals? Well, this is where you're going to see somebody like try to go. They put like the thing at the very front. Somebody needs to hit the NOS. Though, I think Lexi Aguirre, is this the same family? I don't know. Fat Sal! Fat Sal! Cunningham, who's this? Joey D'Avilia! Let's go!
What does Joey need to give?
Email. Joey D. Man, that's awesome. I actually met Joey D last week when we were out there at the open practice. He had a Raiders Report shirt on. Super cool to be able to meet him. And it was cool because Joey was like, kind of like, yo, it's me, Joey D'Avilia. And, well, his picture on Venmo It's like the cartoon version of him. I'm thinking of the wrong. So I was like, oh, I definitely once I connected the dots, I realized it. But Joe D. Rebel said I was there. Rebel was there. Rebel, it's Reb, dude. It was so cool. I feel like your dad's getting a lot more comfortable around me. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yo, Joe, are you here, man? Joey D. I know that he's a loyal watcher. I know that everybody here knows the name Joey D. Avilia. Also, there is an inside joke. If you ever see anybody saying rigged, like I saw somebody who was like, "What do you mean it's rigged?" No, it's not rigged. I promise. If you don't know, it's literally called duck race. You go online. Like you should do it for a fantasy football draft. You should do it for. If I had kids, I think I would use it. Like Christmas morning, who gets to open up the first gift? 1 minute duck race. How bad do you want it, kids? How bad do you want it? No, honestly, the idea, we started doing them like 2-3 years ago. They were a lot of fun. So, Joey D, I will get your, can you just write down Joey D Avilia in that doc for email tickets? Though, Joey, maybe you've already sent it to me. I will double check. Blue Richards, I think I have too much energy for your dad, Rebel. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Blue? Rebel and Blue. What's going on here? What's going on here? Do I need his email? Yes. Yes, I do. I need an email. There is only one white wheel. All right, so we got a few more names getting in this duck race. The last name, oh, nope, Justine Gonzalez is the last name. So we're good. 20 to win, $120 here on the Raiders Report. Also, before we get to this, can you go to the CJ Raider for me?
I can't see it because I only have one monitor, and that monitor is currently what you're seeing right now.
Okay. We will go to the duck race here in just a moment, but before we do, shout out to today's MVP. Shout out to one of the realest in the building. And, yes, somebody that I am very excited to mop in fantasy football this year. Craig Nelson
Junior.
Bang! Craig, I'm going to mop you in honor of being in your fantasy football league. I need to shout out my keeper league, the Drunken Brotherhood, who drafts tonight for year 24. Put on your drinking pants, boys. It's time to show up and show out. Craig, that's awesome, man. 24 years of a fantasy league. I know, like, some people, like, when I do this show, I'm very offensive-minded, but that's because, like, I come from a fantasy football background. I've done a fantasy football league since 2006 with my family, and, you know, it's why I feel like I am the way that I am when about sports. I love talking sports. I love having the conversation. My entire family reunions growing up as a kid, all we did was talk about fantasy football. I wanted to write fantasy football articles, and I did. I started a fantasy football podcast in my attic back in 2016. I mean, it's the reason why I do what I do. 24 years is an unbelievable accomplishment. Major kudos to you and your buddies for being able to do that. I'm very jealous. Also love the name, the Drunken Brotherhood. Drafts tonight, year 24. Craig, congratulations to you. Congratulations to your team, man. That's really cool, and I'm happy that you shared that with me. I'll also say this, that means we're one bang away from me kicking Cooper's ass in a coffee boot race. Won't even be close. I hope somebody does it. I feel good right now. Is it going to be a warm boot or? Well, I just looked at my screen, and it looks like you should go make the coffee. Looks like you should make the coffee. Whatever you do for yours, I'll take in mine just so it's the same temperature. But be careful with the glass so it doesn't break. His humor's so dry. I literally go.
He's got the sarcastic humor down perfectly.
I literally go, make sure that the glass doesn't break. Because, like, sadly, I've shattered a boot before. just not thinking. Because
Yeah.
there was one year, probably like 2 years ago, I did a coffee boot, and like a dumbass, I was trying to rush, so I put the boot under the Keurig, and I was trying to get all my other shit ready, and I literally heard it, and I heard, and I was like, what was that? Go out there, and it was like shattered. Like, I mean, like, it literally, like, exploded the boot.
That's
was
crazy.
It was everywhere. Now, that was small kitchen days. That's way,
Yeah.
way back in the day. But I literally go, don't put the coffee in the boot. And he's like, oh, I plan on putting the coffee directly in the boot. All right, I got you.
Wait, why are you putting the coffee in the boot?
Because Craig threw one up, and Steven Henson! Bang! No, Mitch, put on your drinking pants. Cheers, brother. We're going to meet up week 10 in Vegas. Hell yeah, man. No doubt about it. And again, like, you know, anybody that's going to be out there week 10 for that game, I hope people know, like, my dad's going to be out there. My wife's going to be out there. I am going to be out there for work. But, like, Saturday night, if anybody knows anybody throwing a party, if you want to throw the biggest Raiders party in Las Vegas that Saturday before week 10, my name is Mitchell Renz 365, and I'm looking to get down. Because I'm not trying to be cocky what I'm about to say, but I do think if anybody out there trying to throw a party, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to bring Raider Nation. And I hope that people are ready. I hope people are ready to bring their drinking pants. I hope people are ready to get down because I don't get many opportunities to go out there and have fun with Raider Nation. And my dad is very excited. My wife is very excited. My family is very excited. And, you know, I've actually had many family members tell me, and some of my best friends, like, they might come out that weekend. And that'll be a really fun experience. Like, you know, I want to go around the tailgates, and I'm going to treat it the way that I did back in Oakland in 2019. I mean, that's the last time I've been to a Raiders actual football game because we've been live. So I don't know who's going to be doing the live show here on YouTube, but I'm really excited about being able to go out there for week 10. It's going to be special November 15th. It's right around my dad's birthday. So, Steven, you have my word. There's obviously going to be certain people that I'm no doubt going to try to link up with. And anybody from Mount Raider more, you know, I'll probably put together a little group chat of, hey, meet us at Saturday at this time at this spot. I'll probably do something like that. And, you know, like, there will be other people that I know will probably be there. Like, I know Rebel will probably be there if he's able to make it. Blue's usually always somebody that shows up. But people can make it, please let me know. I am also just as excited to meet you guys when I go out to Vegas. I really am. You know, probably one of the coolest nights I had out there. I don't know if Jeremy Cole's here screaming chicken. I know Blue Richards was there, but it was only like us four. I don't remember what game was on Blue. I feel like there was a Dodgers game going on at the time, but we just were hanging out at the bar for 2 hours. I got to know Jeremy a lot better. I got to know Screaming Chicken a lot better. I got to know Blue Richards a lot better. And, you know, sometimes, like, those are the coolest trips for me because I'm out in Vegas. Like, I also like to be able to just have a good time. And I don't know. Sometimes just being able to go somewhere new, have a beer in a new setting, and just not have to be the entertainer and get to just sit back and be the fan and enjoying what Vegas is to offer, that's also a lot of fun. Like, I loved being able to walk into that open practice on that Tuesday and be a fan. You know, like, I am a Raiders fan, but I don't always get the chance, like, to be that fan. Sometimes, you know, you got to show up the next day after a Raiders tough loss, and you got to be like, hey, we got to rally the troops, man. Got to rally the troops. Blue, Dodgers versus the Yankees. It was game 2. I was going to say, I felt like it was a Dodgers game, but I couldn't remember. But hit me. We are waiting on the coffee boots. I don't know how long it's going to take them to make it. I also know we are running very, very low on coffee. When I came to work this morning, I opened up our coffee drawer, and it was empty. And I was like, there's no way. And then I found a secret compartment in the back. So I don't know how many K-Cups are left. What would we be drinking on a night out in Vegas? All right.
Like, if you were hanging out with Mitch on a night out in Vegas, what are you guys drinking? Like, what you're going to the bar? What's the order? What does it start with? Like, if the night out in Vegas, like, whoever in the chat right now, like, that's their night out in Vegas, they're hitting a couple bars. What does it start with? Maybe a couple beers, and then it ends with, like, tequila shots.
Ooh,
or, like, what's in the middle?
I would say for me, typically, because it's so hot in Vegas, I find myself drinking, like, I love Mango Cart beer, and I can get Mango Cart on tap, like, anywhere in Vegas. So, like, during the day, okay, I was like, did he just run into the door? During the day, I find myself drinking, like, beer. As soon as, like, 9 o'clock hits out in Vegas, strictly old fashions. My favorite old fashioned in all of Las Vegas, go to Resorts World. Go to the 8 Lounge. They sponsor Max Crosby. It's a cigar lounge in Resorts World. They do it's like a banana bread old fashioned. So a lot of times when people come over here at Chat Sports, I try to make banana bread old fashions because of this place. But it's a smoked banana bread old fashioned. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Wow, I can smell this coffee. It's a little warmer than yesterday. This is going to be interesting. I mean, this is going to be interesting. Are you ready? An old fashioned. He makes a mean one, he's telling me. We'll have to be the judge of that. Oh, man. Here we go. Let me know who you got. I love that I can stick with the C for Coop, C for Chugs. C for Coop, M for Mitch. Let me know who you got, though. You definitely got the wrong colors on. You're going to see your spillage. The white Brock Bowers jersey yesterday. There's some stainage. Some stainage. All right, y'all. There's no way this is going to be a best of 3. No, I don't. Somebody just said best of 3. No way, man. He said we'll see. Reads. No. You ready?
Dude, this is a very good showing for Mitch here. Wow. You can already see the brown on there. Hey, not bad. Not bad. There we go.
I pride myself in my coffee ability.
Well, I think that was
coffee white, coffee black.
That was a good showing from you because you're not slow. Chugs is extremely fast.
Chugs is disgusting. That's the difference. It's also way easier to chug coffee than it is a Happy Dad or beer. No suds makes a big difference.
I'm gonna say like.
Though I can feel it in my gut. I'm hot right now.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. Like,
yeah.
Can you tell how much I'm starting to sweat? I'm sweating.
Hot.
Best of 3?
No.
Bro, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that again.
I can smell the coffee from here.
All right, we did 2 bangs for that race. 4 bangs, we do another one. After that, it goes to 8. we got to keep doubling it. I'm sweating, though. Hang on. I'm telling you right now. If we did that, like, with hot coffee, Suave, P was going to smell like coffee for a week. I'm going to say the number one thing my wife hates is her, like, biggest pet peeve that I do, which I don't know if anybody else does this with their significant other, but obviously, I hate to say this, Mom, Dad, if you're watching, I shower with my wife. And when I get into the shower, like, I don't know, it's like an instant I have to pee as soon as I get in the shower. I drink a lot of coffee. Clearly, I drink a lot of coffee. And she hates it. She hates it. And it does. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Yankee Candle made a coffee pea scented candle, it would have 365 right on it. I think I got it, man. I think I got it. Coffee is easy when it's cold, Rebel. I love coffee. I drink coffee all the time. Even that being lukewarm, my body is significantly warmer. I'm sweating right now. I mean, I'm sure you guys can probably see. I am instantly warmer. Like, doing that, if that was slightly warmer, would be really hard. That actually, I think, would be harder than doing an ice-cold boot. That would be tough. All right, man. Somebody said, yo, I can't believe you admitted that. Hey, man, if you're watching the show on Friday or the 200 people here, we do shows where we have over 100,000 people that are watching this program. You're a real one if you're watching the show today. So you guys are an open book to me. I'm an open book to you. Michael, Bo, you've really let me into y'all's family life here over the past week or so. But you did that because you trust me. Same thing. I trust you guys. So it's all love, man. It's all love. Big Raz, Alex going to whoop him for telling that story. She's going to whoop me even if I don't tell that story. All right, y'all, here we go. Winner of this race. Going to go home with $120 here on the Raiders Report starting in 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Shuffle. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, winner's going to go home, $120. A real one / a degenerate at the same time. Oh, you're right. Junior, got to drink more water. I actually drank a lot of water. I really do. So I try not to eat at work. So one of the ways that I try not to eat at work is, I will drink actually water boots throughout the day. There will be times I'll go out into the kitchen and I'll just go get a boot of water and I'll do 36 ounces of it. But that's because I want to try to not eat. So I do drink actually a lot of water. There was ice, it melted. Yeah, I don't know how many I don't know how many K-cups that was, but 25 K-cups. No. Raymond Sanchez, sorry for the comment in there. Philip Bogart. Somebody's got to make a move here. Who's this? It's going to be Alan Ruiz. Alan Ruiz with the win. Let's freaking go. Alan, let's freaking go. Whoa, all right. Flag. 15-yard penalty on Alan Ruiz. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Automatic first down. We got to do the race again. Dramod McCoy. No, which I was happy that Klint pointed it out. I respect Klint doing it, pointing it out. But also at the same time, I want my guys to be able to have fun. I did enjoy that Dramod McCoy played better. I wasn't saying that, we're just having some fun. Dramod, listen to your coaches. How about that? I'll just leave it like that. Shout out to Alan Ruiz for getting the dub. All right, Alan, if you could please confirm down below that you just received $120, dude, that'd be awesome. I don't need your email. If you want to send me your email, though, you can. No. Whose email do I need? Joey D'Avilia. I need your email. Alan, did you get your money? If you could please confirm that you got your money. Got it. Well, y'all, there's only one thing left I got to do, and that's hop on out of here today. Thank you, everyone, to tune into the show. Shout out to all y'all for always showing up, showing out. The next time that you're going to see me live on the Raiders Report is going to be on Tuesday, though. I'm going to bet you guys are going to get an extra video from me at some point over the weekend. The Raiders are probably going to do something tomorrow or on Sunday, and if they do, I will make a video around it. That is my pledge to Raider Nation. To stay up to date on all things going on around the Raiders, hit that subscribe button. Give me a follow on social media at Mitchell Renz 365. If you got an email and you want to send it to me, please do. But to everybody that makes this show a lot of fun, Steven Hansen, thank you so much for donating the tickets. Shout out to Craig Nelson Jr. for being the MVP on today's show. Jerry Danley, LCA, for being the MVPs yesterday. I love doing this program, and I hope that you guys see my team and I were hustling. We're going to continue to hustle. If you guys bring it, we're going to bring it. From Cooper, Reed, Chat Sports Team, myself, and to all the Raider Nation, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next week right here on the Raiders Report.